Yeah, I can't mess with that at all. That's weird.
There we go. Awesome. Alright. Start it in a couple minutes.
We're starting. Got it up.
Got it up? Alright. Well, then let's get this thing started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Reverie Esports League of Legends Open number 36. It's good to be back. Effects, how are you doing tonight, my man?
I am doing pretty good.
Excellent. We're going to get things rolling. Apologies for my absence last week, everybody, but we are back, and it's going to be another exciting series. See if anyone can take down Da Vinci Load, who in the last 2 weeks have taken convincing runs through all the way to the finals, and then very, very strong performances taking both finals as well. So we have 17 teams signed up. Everyone is checking in, and we're about to get things underway here in just a couple minutes. If we want to do a rundown of our bracket last week, in the semifinals we had the Game House versus Rise of the Phoenix and the Da Vinci Load versus Supernova Leo. The finals ended up being the Da Vinci Load and Rise of the Phoenix, with the Da Vinci Load taking a convincing 2-0 victory, and in the third place match, Supernova Leo with a 1-0 victory. So, familiar faces we'll see from the previous weeks. We got Broken Meta X, of course the Da Vinci Load, Team Solo Mid, Team Believe, Something's Wrong here, Dive Team Alpha. We've seen these guys before. It's good to see them back. Hopefully everyone in chat, if you're new, welcome. If not, welcome back, and we're going to have a very, very good tournament today. And wow, this is my first time seeing the new graphics. They look fantastic. They are really, really good.
They're very well done. Definitely no complaints on that end.
No, yeah, absolutely. And as we are still kind of getting used to everything, especially James with all the hosting, doing the great job hosting all the streaming, that there might be some hiccups and a little bit of kinks in the way, but please bear with us as we work through them and throughout the weeks and progress and get all those things in order. So, we are just going to be waiting for the brackets to kick off here, and then we'll get into our first game of the day. Let me find out.
Got it. There we go. Okay. I think most everything is set up correctly without me having to do too much.
Excellent. No, it should be good. It should be ideal. How'd your solo queue games go this week?
Okay, alright. So as long as I don't touch Skype, it'll stay good. And no brackets yet, unfortunately.
Perfect. No brackets yet, but they will be coming soon. 7 o'clock start. Get into the first game, and we should have, looking at our open, 17 teams, so that should be 4 rounds, I believe.
That sounds about right.
4 rounds, and just for anyone who is new, every round is a best of 1 until we get to the finals, which will be a best of 3 between the teams. And this is, as soon as we get the brackets, we'll be going live into the first game.
Jump right into it, see if somebody can dethrone the Da Vinci Load, who have had, I think this is actually their 3rd win. I think
their 3rd straight win, eh?
I think so. I think they won one before we
signed on.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. Yeah, they've been really headlined by their AD carry Henrique, who's just shows how many champions, how versatile he is in with his champion pool, and just incredibly strong player as well. And Snowstorm, their jungler. I think 2 weeks ago, one of the best games was them versus Broken Meta X, and we got to see the clash between Dairy Cow and Snowstorm, which was an incredible jungle clash.
It was definitely awesome. So there are definitely some highlight moments from that.
Yeah, and actually, while we're waiting to get the brackets, we'll get the highlights from our last 2. Let me just find them on Twitter here for our last 2 tournaments. We'll get you guys the Vibbies. And yeah, actually, huge shout out to our sponsors. Sponsors Vibby, Battlefly, who offer the fantastic bracket software that we're running the tournaments off of, and the LOL History app as well, which is this really cool app for your iPhone or your mobile phone where you can post all of your good games to social media really easily and show all your friends how well you're doing. I mean, you can put the bad ones too, but you got to give the people the impression that you're very, very good at the game. Like, oh, my looking at my match history, there wouldn't be many games going up there, but here are, whoops. Oh, I got deleted link. That was. Let me see if I can get that link for you into the chat. We'll get you some highlights from the last couple weeks of games.
Let me go ahead and actually pop the chat up so I can see it.
Yeah, any questions in chat, please feel free to pop them to us, and we'll be happy to answer out. We love interacting with everyone. Around 6:58.
Okay. Make some
1,
notes
2,
for myself.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams checked in right now at everyone, but I'm sure everyone will be checking in as we get closer and closer to the start of the bracket. Excuse me. I actually wasn't able to keep up with the LCS much this week. Was there any craziness in the plays? Let me go and check. And the meta looks to be about the same, although I was watching some of the Challenger series, and I believe it was Team Apex, which is the team X Specials on. They were in the semifinals versus Ember, and they played a jungle Kindred, which I hadn't seen in a while, especially in competitive play, which I thought was awesome. I really like that champion. I'd love to see it brought out.
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to keep up too much either. I've been working a lot.
Mm-hmm. The school work, it's the way she goes. But yeah, no, the Kindred, I thought that was really, really cool. And it's a really flex pick, too. I would like to see it either in like the 80 or the jungle role, but hopefully someone brings it out tonight. That would be very interesting to see.
It'd definitely be nice. It's nice to see more varied picks. It gives us more to talk about, and it's just exciting to see.
The rise of the popularity in the last 2 weeks, especially of like Nautilus in the top lane, we saw how effective it was. You see it in the LCS, and it's a very scary prospect seeing that Nautilus and Ezreal still being one of the top contested AD carries and Graves in the jungle. It's Corki as well in the mid, and we saw some crazy plays 2 weeks ago from Corki players, even using the Valkyrie to explode into the fight. Let's see, the CLG. Actually, Team Liquid took down CLG earlier today. That's a big win for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Interesting. CLG fanboy at heart.
Oh, and that's right. Patch 6.5 just happened recently.
Yeah, 6.5, and
It feels like they just patched a couple weeks ago.
no, some big balance changes. Brought Fiora down a little more into tune. We said goodbye to Gangplank, which was too bad. And Renegades is still a team. That is a bit surprising, which is too bad because I like the organization, but they have not been having the best season.
Looking at the patch notes here, we got several interesting changes. Jarvan buffs, Hecarim buffs.
Yeah, the Jarvan buffs. Oh, geez, it's been so long since we've seen Jarvan in an effective state, and seeing him in the top lane in the jungle brings me back to Season 2. Actually, best Season 2 bot lane, I'm still convinced, was Jarvan Leona. There's a lot of damage. 701. No brackets available yet. Alright, we will get these brackets out to you folks very, very soon.
Aragot's had a really interesting buff as well. His ult now fears people at the end of the channel.
What? Okay, does it fear in like an area around him or just the person he swapped?
Around him.
Whoa, that's crazy.
It's a pretty small range, only 375 units, so about a couple Teemos? I don't know, I don't remember the units exactly.
That's really interesting though. That would be a really big engage tool, and if you could run them in tanky enough and say like the top lane or something. Does it damage as well, or does it just fear in the area?
Nope, just fears for a second and a half after swapping.
Okay, very cool.
So he swaps to their team and it fears all everyone around him. It's a little shorter than auto attack really, but
I like that. That's really cool. Patch 6.5, Return of the Prince. I agree.
Yeah, that Jarvan buff's actually pretty huge. His ult now does damage to all the targets trapped inside the Cataclysm. So now,
yeah.
So before it only did damage to whoever he clicked on. Now it does damage to everyone.
Oh.
So like for full AD assassin Jarvan, that's enormous.
Absolutely. Where is Jarvan? And it's not an insignificant amount of damage either.
Not at all.
The client does not give me his damage, scaling damage per ability.
Nah, you'd have to go to the external website.
Rito, please. Riot, please. Who else have I been seeing in my solo queue misadventures these days? I'm still a huge proponent of Lux. I think she's a fantastic pick in either the mid or support. I think she's a lot of fun.
Definitely not a bad pick, but I can see where other people might have other preferences.
Soraka's still being very popular, and Fiora, despite the tune down, and Zed is in a very strong place right now. He's a scary, scary man. Poppy, still very popular. Lucian. And we have our first game code. Excellent.
Go ahead and toss that to me because I can't change.
Absolutely. Effects. And we will be getting into the game for you folks very quickly. The code I entered is invalid. Well, that seems surprising. It's because there was 2 codes sent to me. Whoops.
Alrighty.
Alright, who do we have? Does that mean our bracket is up? I still don't see a bracket. Alright.
Let me try bracket. No brackets available. Let me refresh the page and see if that helps.
Ah, that must be it. That must be it. So who are we spectating?
Yep, that was it.
Round 1, match 2. So we are doing Serious Series versus the time is RP. Winner goes on to play the Da Vinci Load. So actually, let's do a quick rundown of the bracket. It seems like we will have 4 rounds. So the Da Vinci Load got a bye into the second round. Then the game we'll be watching is Serious Series versus time is RP. 420 Help Me got a bye into the second round, as well as Korean Dog Best Dog. So they'll be facing off in the lower half of our upper bracket. And then Procession's also getting a bye, and then the winner of Common Sense Longsword will be playing Processions. Broken Meta X getting a bye into the second round, and then Team Believe versus Team Solo Mid will round out the 8th game of the bracket, and the winner of that game plays Broken Meta X. That's a very interesting bracket. You have Team Believe on a different side of the bracket for the Da Vinci Load, so that's definitely a matchup. And then again, Broken Meta X. If we were going to see another Snowstorm versus Drunken Dairy Cow showdown, it would be in the finals, which would be very exciting.
Absolutely. Definitely seeing some returning faces, some new ones as well.
Very good to see all the returning faces, and a huge thank you to those guys returning, and a huge thank you also to everyone who's new, and we hope you enjoy your time here at Reverie Esports. We run weekly tournaments. We do this open on Saturday nights, but we also do an amateur league series of tournaments on Friday nights, where I believe it's Gold 1 is the cutoff for the skill level. So that's definitely an interesting series if you're looking to try to get a more competitive aspect on the game and you're not quite at the level of some of these players where they're all high plat, diamond, and even we have some masters players in here as well. It's a very good experience, very fun experience to get into a tournament with them. I remember playing a tournament, geez, it was the St. Patty's Day tournament. This must have been 4 or 5 years ago in Season 2. And one of my friends is like, he's really good at networking and getting everybody together. So we had these 2 guys who were supposed to carry the rest of our bronze trashiness, and one of them was actually Nintendo X, the X jungler for Coast, which was just small world. And then like a couple years later, I see him in the LCS. I was like, oh, what are the odds? He probably had no idea who I was. He was that guy who played a terrible Warwick jungle and had made us lose that game. That's how he probably remembers me.
Yeah, I haven't played. I think the last time I played a tournament was probably 4 years. That sounds about right. It could be longer or shorter, maybe about 6 months. But it's been a while.
It has been a while. Now we're just casting. Now we're just trying to bring the hype. We're watching the good players come in and show us how it's done.
Oh, absolutely. I suck now. I used to be okay, but now I can look at the game and understand what's going on, but I can't take my knowledge and execute it correctly.
I can visualize what I want to do, but when I try to get my hands to do something, the mouse is never in the right place where I want to click it.
Lag. It's all lag's fault. I'm not at fault at all. Clearly, I deserve to be challenger.
Exactly. Should be on a challenger team just because of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, looks like the lobby is filling up.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we are full.
Let's see, which teams are which.
I was just about to do the exact same.
Looks like team on the blue side is going to be Sirius Series, and Time is RP is on the red side.
Okay, they're getting. Looks like they're throwing some players, maybe some coaches. Oh, geez, what is going on?
I do believe they're rearranging themselves in the order they want to be in.
For the picks. Okay, okay. Yeah, the right side is team is RP. Awesome. So this should be an exciting game.
Oh, absolutely. Alrighty.
I will give them the "we are ready when you are." Doing well. Doing well. Perfect. So, any predictions just off the front? I think both of these teams are actually new to our championship series, so this is a good first showing for the guys. Got the first match on the stream. Everyone's getting excited.
Yeah, I don't. Just going off, once again, if we're going to go off a ranking, I believe Team Sirius Series is going to have the advantage. I'll be able to have a more of an impression once we start seeing them play a little bit more. Because last week there was a team that was massively outranked, and they were mostly platinums, and they beat a team full of diamonds, like mid to high diamonds, and they managed to beat them completely out.
That was a really exciting game. Thank you to all the fans out there saying the left caster is a cutie, but you can't count out effects.
Nah, it's alright. I know my mug's ugly.
Alright, they're throwing in some more plat players. People are saying start. That looks like we got the start from the blue team as well, so we should be getting in this game very, very quickly. Start whenever. GLGL. Right.
Any moment now.
Exactly. The anticipation. And we'll obviously keep you folks updated on the bracket as well as those games progress to keep just the eyes on where this tournament is heading. But yeah, I think the storyline is anybody can be able to take down the Da Vinci Low just after their stellar performances the last 2 weeks. And even the week before that as well.
And we're in.
We are in the game. Alright, excellent. Very interesting. So,
Sirius Series is going to be the one opening up the picks with the blue side, and they immediately ban Malphite.
Malphite very strong.
That was a fast team-up ban.
Honestly, not something I would have expected.
A little unusual. I'm not sure if Sirius Series has a dedicated team-up player, or if Time is RP just absolutely hates that champion. And that could be a possibility.
They may have done their homework. Oh, you know what? A team-up player can be very, very annoying, especially in an environment like this. And a Fiora ban as well. Not surprised.
Malphite and Fiora being pretty powerful right now. And Shaco ban. Are they just banning all the champions that are really annoying?
I'll bet you $100 the next one's an M for the TSM.
That could be it.
No, I'm not actually that certain. But yeah, Shaco ban, very annoying. The ganks can be really strong if you can get the boxes off, and if he gets rolling, he is impossible to stop. Just deceives onto your squishies, and then they're completely, your backline's destroyed, and there's so much disruption. Ah, yes, Kid Cola telling us in chat, Aeon Star is a Teemo main. And then the Soraka ban as well coming out. No big surprises for the bans on that side.
Gotta be a Master Yi ban, so it's a TSM.
Oh, that would be perfect, actually. That would work out so well.
And they banned 3 champions who are really annoying to deal with, and they get Naps Yasuo. Way to disappoint.
And before Yasuo, and Kid Cola, he seems to know what he's talking about. I think he might know the blue team here.
That definitely seems like a possibility. Or he knows No, serious players, and you understand what most likely to be banned based on just looking at what they play.
Hmm. There is somebody with the name Yes or No on the blue team. So this will be interesting to see. They have a lot of things still open right now. And yes! Thank you. Please just lock it. Lock it.
Gonna be really excited to see Jarvan coming back. He's always been one of my favorite champions because of his flexibility.
Hmm. Versatile. Where do you see him with these buffs more in the top lane or also a viable jungler?
It could be either. It certainly benefits a Jarvan going with more damage, and especially with their recent changes. With items in the last season or so, with Sterix Gauge and I'm trying to think what else. The upgrades to Mortius. Pretty much any of the new items that take the what's Jerome's Fist, I think it's called. I can't remember.
Yes. I believe so.
Basically, they made bruisers who want to have health and damage. They've buffed them with those items a little bit at least. Still not perfect. There's obviously still a little bit of imperfections in there, but that really helps champions like him who want to have both damage and health.
And they did lock in the Jarvan, and it looks like unless they swap it, he will be in the jungle. And then the immediate Lulu lock-in for the purple team, who we saw Lulu very, very effective in last week's series and 2 weeks ago. Her survivability to make her teammates, especially with the wild growth and the whimsy, is incredible, and just a very annoying champion to play against, and it looks to be the Poppy pick as well. Poppy, very popular champion right now, ever since her rework, no big surprise there.
Yeah. I know a lot of people were complaining about how... Yeah, people always complain during reworks, but I feel like the majority of the time Riot does a pretty good job. There's been a couple of exceptions, like where they kind of messed up on Rengar, but most of the reworks are typically pretty good. They change a champion that doesn't ever see play into champions that see quite a bit usually.
Well, the Evelynn rework was really good, and she was really popular right after that. Very strong lineup coming out of blue team right now if they lock in these picks. Big front line with Jarvan and Braum, and then combined with that, there will be a nice backline dive from Jarvan and Zed, which would be a very, very effective, especially to get through a Lulu, because there's a lot of kite so far. Ooh, the Lux. They were listening to me. And the Lux is actually locked in. Very nice. The Lux and the Braum picked up for the blue team. Okay. Where would you go if you were a purple team for these picks right now? Shit.
Well, if Malphite wasn't banned, I'd suggest him, but Gragas isn't bad either. They need something to basically get up to Lux and catch her, because otherwise they're going to get kited out by Lux, and then they're just going to get engaged on by Jarvan and Braum. I need to see their other picks, really.
Yep.
I definitely wouldn't pick Katarina here.
Yeah. Tristana and Udyr. Udyr actually incredibly strong this patch as well. Or Zinzao, yeah, and Vayne. They're just messing with us at this point.
Kind of bounce around picks. You want to hear my opinion on every champion in the world?
You know what? I do like the Vayne because she's able to tumble out of the Cataclysm.
That's definitely true.
And the Gragas is also an effective pick because with the explosive cask, he'll be able to push the enemy team out. Or
Mumu.
Forget that whole thought. I just had the Mumu pick up as well. Interesting. Oh, Urgot. Okay. Lucian.
Oh, I hope we see a Vladimir. I love Vladimir.
Vladimir would be very cool, but the Lucian is locked in for the blue team right now, and they are looking for either a top laner or a jungler at this point. And bouncing through all the AD carries, a bunch of champions. And Darius.
Okay. Don't see Darius too often anymore.
No, that was another character that got reworked, just a couple of his abilities, but he was very, very popular when that started. So it looks like it actually will be a Jarvan jungle. And yeah, I was going to say, they could actually run the Lulu as a support and then pick up another mage in the mid lane. So I was wondering if they're going to do that. And I'd like to see Azir, actually.
Azir's definitely not a bad pick against this team. He has the ability to deny engages from Jarvan, Braum, or just Darius walking up to them. You can't tell them if you're dead. That is a very true statement. Death is the best CC, as it turns out.
Absolutely, and yeah, that's a very good point about Azir with his wall of soldiers being able to knock everyone back, and it also brings like a lot of AoE damage. Well, not so much. There's more mages where you can pick different AoE damage, but also strong AoE damage that can go in line with Curse of the Mummy, Mumu's ultimate. And it looks like this more than likely will be locked in for the purple team. And barring any last minute swaps, yes, we will have the Azir.
Alrighty. So right now we're looking at looks like Darius versus Poppy in the top lane, Jarvan versus Amumu. Not really versus, I guess. Jarvan and Amumu in the jungle. Lux versus Azir in the mid lane. Lucian and Braum in the bot lane versus Vayne and Lulu.
How do these, since we have 3 minutes once the delay kicks in, before we these lanes match up?
Honestly, looking at the matchups right now, blue side has most of the advantage. The only lane I see not being in their advantage is Luxa versus Azir.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And any early level shenanigans, possible invades from these teams?
Honestly, it's not likely. Azir has a very blue side might because they have Braum and Lux CC.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see anything but really defensive falling back from. Let me see what the teams are again. Times
They
RP.
are.
Times
Yes.
RP. Series versus Times RP.
I was just gonna answer that question in chat from Nick Smells, and it is Serious Series are the blue team, and Team is RP is the purple team, I believe. I just want to double check that. No, Serious Series is the purple team. Oh goodness, their names are very similar. Actually, yes, no, Serious Series is the blue team, and Time is RP is the purple team. And we are just getting a delay, ladies and gentlemen. We will be live in 2 minutes and 25 seconds for the first game of the Reverie Esports League of Legends Open number 36. Once again, a huge thank you to our sponsors, Vibi, Battlefy, and LOL History app. Please go check them out. They're fantastic services and fantastic sponsors to us. And chat, I think, is kind of siding towards the blue side here. Serious Series because of that Jarvan pick, and I very much support that. We were talking earlier how much fun Jarvan is since the rework and how much fun of a champion he is, and they come out right out of the gates with him. So hopefully they're listening and took my advice, of which probably don't want to take my advice on a lot of things when it comes to this game, but he's a sweet champion.
I just right now I think blue side in terms I think they have better picks overall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just looking at the matchups, unless something is. I mean, Poppy is always, even before the rework, was weak against Darius because of his ability to bully melee characters around. And honestly, I don't know if she has the damage output to beat him in that kind of fight. And because she doesn't have any sustain, she's just durable.
Mm-hmm. And we actually already have a bracket update. Our bottom of the bracket game, Team Believe versus Team Soulmate. Team Believe already with the victory over Team Soulmate. Don't know if they couldn't get somebody in and it had to be a forfeit, but Team Believe is moving on to the second round to face Broken Meta X. So congratulations to them, and Team Soulmate, thank you guys for coming out, and hopefully we will see you again next week. But we are 50 seconds away here, ladies and gentlemen, from getting into this one. And yeah, so you were saying that you liked the picks of the blue team, but looking just purely at the champions, would you say that it sways in their favor?
Honestly, yes. It's going to be hard as long as Lux is watching out for the Amumu. I don't see them, as long as they avoid the Streamer Shuffle from Azir and they avoid Amumu, Curse of Sad Mummy. I don't see them. I don't see them losing that easily. And that's just ignoring the rank disparity already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I quite like their comp, but what do you think that Time is RP needs to go for with their composition? Because Times seems to be a little bit all over the place, with maybe a little focus on teamfight AoE battles. But is there a different strategy they need to go for? Do they need to split push, or do they need to play the objectives?
Let me take a look again. Oh, we're getting into the loading screen, so it's going to take a second to upgrade.
Just a second, and then yeah, absolutely, and we will be in the game, the first game of the day for us.
And I have to change the
overlay work, yeah. Actually, we're forgetting the most important thing is who has the best skins. absolutely what matters here. Not a lot of skins coming out, although Gravelord Azir is very, very nice. Warrior Kingdom's J4 though. I'm just waiting on one more player to connect into the game. Can assume they didn't have any problems because we didn't hear anything during the 3-minute delay, which is good. Going off pure numbers, the skins are very, very even. And J4 actually taking Thunderlord's Calling into the jungle with him as his pickup. Interesting pick there. Makes sense though, he's going to be dealing a lot of damage. It's going to be really... They have a really big front line as well with Braum and Darius. And depending on how J4 builds, he can become very tanky as well.
I'm kind of surprised Poppy took Thunderlords and not grasped the Undying.
Yeah, interesting thing one to see on Poppy. Azir, very, very standard to see that as well with Lux. Both of them running barrier in the mid lane too, so we'll see if any of them will be able to 100 to 0, because that's really what Azir and Lux are looking to do. Lux especially, with the light bindings, and oh my goodness.
I had a disconnect, hold on.
You disconnected? Okay.
Let's try that again. Reconnecting.
I am still on the loading screen, but I hear music. Interesting. If I get in, I can do a radio-esque broadcast. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So, let me know when you're in the game.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause the music now, and there we go. Okay. So hopefully I loaded nice and quickly. That was really weird. Sorry about that, guys. And we're in! With
Perfect.
only 15 seconds. Exactly. Nice.
There we go. Alright, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in our first game of the day. On the blue side, we have Serious Series, and taking them on the purple side, we have Time is RP, and here we are. The GLHFs come out, and it looks like Time is RP will be grouping as 5 right now and making their way down towards the bottom river, as well as Serious Series, so we might see a little bit of conflict right here. Poppy gets checked. Nice under the wall, under the Braum, and ooh, good flash away. That was a very, very dangerous situation. The condemn into the Poppy stun was good, but a great flash away from Braum. And so that aggression, we were talking there might be some aggression early, but that was
Mumu took Bandage Toss. I'm not sure. I was kind of surprised. I wasn't expecting them to do that because they would have to take skills like Bandage Toss to try and get a kill. Unfortunately, that's gonna hurt Mumu a little bit.
That's definitely going to hurt his clear time. He's going to need to get a big leash from Lulu and Vayne here. Lanes will be matching up standardly with Lucian Braum in the bot lane versus Vayne and Lulu, and Azir versus Lux, as well as Poppy versus Darius. And junglers will be starting their blue buff respectively, and no really deep wards. And apparently the stream is a bit laggy, was saying Will, so if they maybe you was suggesting any programs you could close to make that better, and then I'll just cast it well that works, see if we can get that fitting a little better.
See if I can shut some things off. Let me see.
Absolutely. And yeah, Mumu did get a pretty strong leash from his lane, but he's still going to be very slow, taking Tantrum as his second skill now, so having no despair for that damage over time. This will be an interesting. I want to ask you a question, but I feel... Ooh, actually, aggression in the bot lane a little bit already. Braum very low, and not having that flash is going to allow for Time is RP to hopefully abuse that and get their junglers in. But the bottom team on the blue side did take the Golem, so they have a little bit of an XP lead.
Okay, I think I shut down everything I could without actually turning the stream off.
Alright, perfect. So where do you see the first acts of conflict / aggression coming out for these teams? What do they need to wait for? Is it going to be a lane fight? Actually, speaking of lane fights, in the bot lane right now,
there, apparently.
Getting stunned up, and the exhaust does come out, and this should be, oh, what a great heal, but the first blood, regardless, Braum gets the auto attack off, and that is first blood for Serious Series. And actually, Lulu taking a lot of damage too. Stop it as well. The minions are doing a lot of damage.
Ooh, that was close.
Whew. Kingo to Joker almost going down there.
A little agreed, but they did manage to pick up the kill without dying, which is a big plus.
And that's very good because they were down a flash. That early golem was really giving Lucian the level 2 was really effective for them. He was able to get there and get this finish proccing the concussive blows. And actually Lulu can take some more damage. Again, getting very, very low. Manages to help picks herself up and run away. And in the top lane, it looks like Darius just pushing Poppy down back into her turret. And the mid lane's actually a very curious matchup for me. Pretty much dead even on CS, but the bot lane is where the big disparity is right now.
Oh, Poppy getting bullied around quite a bit.
In the top lane, no Noxian Guillotine yet, not to level 6, or that would have most certainly been a kill for Darius, but that's a tough matchup.
That's basically how I feel that matchup's going to go for most of the game until she can get out of lane. Especially without Grasp to give her at least something resembling sustain. It's just going to be rough.
Rough time, and it looks like the pings are coming out from the red team onto top lane. Stream is still laggy, apparently. Interesting. Are people in chat having the same issue, the stream being laggy? Wonder if it's on different end. And actually, possibly some connection issues. And Jarvan getting himself in the mid lane here. We'll see if anything is coming out of this. But Azir knows he has that sense of feeling. This is a little dangerous though. Lux just needs to land a light binding, and Jarvan's going in anyways. We'll see if the Demacian standard into Dragon Strike comes down the combo. Azir just gonna casually hop over, and actually in the top lane, alone forever, getting ganked, does manage to pull 1 kill out of it, but he will fall to Nathan on that Amumu. So 1 for 1 in the top lane.
Oh,
Good.
and Jarvan is possibly coming up to... Nope, he's not gonna... Amumu sees him through a ward and backs off.
Just clearing the ward, and the bot lane still... Actually,
No,
really
for some reason I'm looking at now and I'm also lagging, so let me fiddle with some settings in a moment here.
Aggression in the bot lane, the flash in actually, Vayne's stunned up, does flash away, but not before Lucian gets the auto attacks off. That's a second kill, and wow, Lulu might be going down here as well. The great flash away, Lucian living with 70 HP, and that is 2 kills in the bottom lane right now, and not what time his RP needs. But great work for Serious Series, getting that Lucian ahead. They just need to be a little more cautious down their time as RP. They have Vayne, they have that late game hyper carry. She just needs to get through this laning phase and get in the late game and get a couple items in, and she will be a force to be reckoned with. But all together, 3-1 total score, 5 minutes into the game, and a 1.4k gold lead in the favor of Serious Series.
I'm gonna let you continue to talk while I figure this out, because we can't have our viewers lagging. That's not good.
Absolutely, I will do the best that I can right now. Ping's coming out in the mid lane as well. Looks like they really want to focus on this Azir. No wards. He is playing very passively though. Jarvan is here. The light binding does actually land, and wow, what a great combo knock-up chain to the CC, and that is all she wrote for Azir in the mid lane. That light binding was literally at like the closest pixel for distance. And yeah, fantastic work there by Jarvan to get in there, but Yasuo no on that Lux doing great work. Taking a quick look at the CS totals, pretty even across the board in the mid lane especially, except in the top lane, 35-18 in favor of Darius, and then a 13 CS lead as well for Lucian in the bot lane, and that bot lane has just not been having the best time. It's too bad for them. Things are poisoned, and Amumu needs to get himself more into the game, and he started off a little slow in the jungle, which because of the invade early level 1, but he does have himself a kill on the Darius, so that should even things out, but Jarvan just offering more pressure around the map so far. First backs are completed for most of Serious Series right now. Lucian on his Caulfield's Warhammer and boots, pretty much the only big items. Lux working towards her finishing her Blasting Wand and Fiendish Codex, and wow, Poppy incredibly low, might go down to the bleed, but the potions will be enough down to 33 HP. The Noxian Guillotine not quite being enough for Darius, but he's going to get a lot of damage down onto this turret and some more free CS, putting Poppy more and more behind. Mid lane again, Jarvan poised for a gank. The light binding does come out, the Noxian standard, oh, and no! Very nice use of the shifting sands to get him out of there and out of the range of the knockup, the Demacian standard Dragon Slate combo knockup, and he is safe for another day. Serious Series putting a lot of pressure onto this mid lane, clearly fearing the Azir / wanting to get their Lux ahead. And in the bot lane, actually, again going down, but Vayne getting very low. One more auto attack will finish off Braum, and that is good pressure there from Amumu. Curse of the Sad Mummy not even used to secure the kill, and that it was a much needed bit of gold for Vayne right here, hopefully trying to get her back into the game, and Lucian being zoned out now. And Lux looked like she was roamed down, and actually a fight in the top lane now. Poppy taking a lot of damage. The bleed is on. No ult yet for Darius, and that will be all she wrote. But Poppy literally just got back to lane. She's gonna, ooh, Jarvan's looking for it. Actually, there's the standard into the Cataclysm, and the dunk comes in. That is it. But also in the bot lane, Yasuo no taking out a Mumu. Looking a bit aggressive, trying to steal for camps, but Azir waiting in these bushes for Lux, who is a bit wiser than that and taking the long way around, trying to get another gank. And actually, because Braum's here as well, there's a fight going on. The love similarity works. Nice Q there by Braum. And Yasuo no on a killing spree right now, finishes off Vayne. And it is just a matter of time for Lulu, although there's the concussive blow, 2 more, the stun, and that is all she wrote for Tomster Bruh. So great team play right here from Serious Series, doing very well with pressure around the map and all of their lanes doing what they need to do and winning right now. And despite the Amumu gank into the bot lane to try to get Vayne back into it, Time is RP just not being able to convert too much off that and maybe overstaying their welcome in the deep blue bot lane. Blue buffs look like they're going to be handed over. Lux not actually getting hers. Jarvan being greedy and taking it, but Azir taking it from Amumu on the side of Time is RP. Going to be grabbing that up. CS discrepancy still across the board, and at 9 minutes 40 seconds, we have an 8-2 lead for Serious Series, and about a 3.4k gold lead already as well. And then the top lane, actually another fight. Poppy with the knock away. The Noxian Guarantee comes up. This fight is incredibly close. The 2 flashes, but it will not be enough. Alone Forever does get the solo kill onto Hayam Kios on that Poppy, and she is not having a great game right now. 3-1, the subject of a lot of pressure from the blue team. Now, Mumu and Jarvan maybe run into each other here, but Jarvan just walks himself away. Actually, jungle is probably the most even right now, gold-wise. Yeah, only about 100 separating those two. But every other lane right now, for about 1k gold lead mid, 1.2k gold lead in bot lane, and top lane's a 1.5k gold lead right now, which is just not ideal for Time is RP. Everyone farming away, no dragons taken yet, 10 minutes into the game. Amumu spotted out by that ward. Jarvan also sitting on a ward, so they have good sights on each other's junglers. They know exactly what's up. They do see the ward, and I don't know if Jarvan has the ward. The bandage toss comes in, does connect. Jarvan manages Noxian Standard or Demacian Standard, pardon me, and Dragon Strike on out of there. No worse for wear. A little bit of HP miss, and now Mumu looking to head into the top lane. Had some taunts going on from Darius right there. The pings are coming out to warn Darius. He does not have a flash either, but he is a very scary customer to be dealing with right now with his Caulfield's Warhammer and Phage, and looking to build into that Black Cleaver. Nothing else will be coming out of that. Mumu heading back into his jungle. Taking a look at the bot lane, we have Serious Series just pushing in, building their lead even more to about 20 CS right now. 19, pardon me, and trying to knock down the first turret of the game. They should be able to get it. It is a cannon wave, this next coming wave, so as long as they keep this turret pushed, and they should be able to take it down. Vayne doing what she can, the last hit under turret. Things are not looking too great for Time is RP. Definitely still a lot of game left, and they absolutely can get back into this, but it's definitely going to have to come from the jungle pressure of Nathan1329. He needs to create space for his team and get his lanes back into the game. Turret is going down, and actually the Braum ult as well does not quite connect, but the turret goes down. First turret of the game falls. Serious Series taking that down. And Braum Ultimate there just kind of used the Glacial Fissure, used as more of a zoning mechanism than a game. And actually a dive in on the top lane. Poppy does actually manage to land the stun. The knock away, the Cataclysm comes in as well. And she's getting a lot of damage back down on this, but the nice pull in the Noxian Guillotine to finish. And that is another death for Hayam Kios, and the second turret of the game will be falling in the top lane, and Serious Series will be taking a even more commanding lead. But in the bot lane, actually, fight going on right now. Ooh, the Condemned does not quite land the stun, and wow, great work getting onto the Vayne, and ooh, very low, and Tomster does actually manage to pick up Shady Stabber, but that could have been a lot worse. Good work for him stopping Vayne and getting the concussive blows to stun him, or pardon me, to stun Vayne and secure his carry's life there. And top lane, again, this is just relentless pressure on the Kios. I feel bad for him at this point. The pull in, Jarvan does almost die. Lag is gone, says Will. Video feed, things are good. Will, what do you make of this game so far?
Okay, what did I miss? I kind of wasn't paying attention all that much.
What you missed was kills around the map, mostly for Serious Series, but actually, Time is RP picking up their first dragon, unless Lux manages to steal it. Ooh, the smite does land. Very nice work there by Nathan. And I was mentioning how with his lanes losing, Nathan on that Amumu is going to be needing to make the plays, and that's exactly what he did bot lane when they picked up Braum. But the big story has been top lane, and Kios on that Poppy's been having a rough time. Every time you look up there, Jarvan and Darius are diving her under the turret.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate, but that's honestly how I felt it would go.
Tricks have been done. Excellent. And pressure just coming in still. The concussive blow laying on the Poppy. Looks like they want to poise for this mid turret next. The only tier 1 turret still standing for Time is RP. And even their jungle is in a safe place now. The deep ward's coming in and great ward coverage, especially on the bottom side of the map from Serious Series. Making sure they are completely safe. Yeah, where do you see Time is RP getting back into this game?
They need, man, it's hard. Hard to say because Series' bot lane has that a really aggressive ward coverage, allowing them to see when anyone else is coming. And honestly, I think they could probably win a 2v3. And Lux is actually there to support them. And there's a
And actually, the Bandage Tosh does connect, and then the Glacial Fissure as well. That is a good pickup kill onto Mumu. And actually, wow, the tier 2 falls in the top lane. Jarvan and Darius is applying so much pressure. After they saw Mummy in the bot lane, they knew they were safe to do that. And it was a good try, but the damage was just too much. The kiting from Braum and Lucian is an incredibly potent lane. Actually, managed to respawn back on that turret mid, and poor Poppy. Dying under her tier 3 turret, her inhibitor turret at 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's just a rough matchup. That true damage just making it so that it doesn't matter if you have resist.
The culling almost, and actually Vayne gonna drop in the top lane. The heal does not quite do enough, but here comes Amumu trying to do what he can. There's turrets action all over
here
that.
to save the day.
Does actually manage to pick up one very nice here of the Emperor's Devour, the Shifting Sands, pardon me, to get that kill, but at the same time, they lost their tier 2 bottom. Did manage to pick up 2 kills, but their inhibitor top lane is exposed right now. And where's the next play for Serious Series to start to close this game out?
See, Dragon isn't going to be up for a while. Baron isn't going to be up for a while. They might take...
Rift
if I were them, I'd probably take Rift Herald and then push that top inhibitor down and then transition to the bottom lane. Just as fast as possible.
Yep. The mid turret is still standing at about 2/3 HP right now. That could offer up a lot of space for them to roam around the map some more. Getting a ward, because yeah, we were just talking about that Rift Herald, so Mumu getting a ward on that in case Serious Series does decide to go for that.
That is probably the easiest, most obvious target, but they may just ignore it and just go straight to the top lane. That's definitely a possibility.
They know they've had quite success there, and Poppy sitting 0-5-1 right now is not much of a factor in this game. She can't really stop if even one player goes up there right now, but it looks like it will just be a split mid, and then as well with Darius and Jarvan taking that Rift Herald while the rest of the team puts in the damage on the mid turret, and this would be a great time. Actually, it would have been a good time to get engaged for Time as RP, but Lulu in a very dangerous spot does manage to get out of there safely.
Well, Poppy did. They did take Rift Herald, and Poppy got caught by once again the Jarvan Darius combo.
And
just
one more Dragon Strike, and that will be it for Poppy, unfortunately. Lulu is so far in enemy territory right now. She just needs to back. Oh my goodness.
They know she's there, and Lux is at least. She
does manage to get out.
Absolutely.
No problem. The Whimsy, and actually Azir going really aggressive on Lux right now.
Ooh, the flash!
Ooh, misses the Emperor's Divide. That's unfortunate. And now Braum cut out, gets a nice Glacial Fissure to slow things down. He does get stunned up, and Lux escaping on 20 HP. And they turn their attention to Braum, who has the flash as well, and they don't get anything out of that. That is unfortunate, and at the same time, they lose their inhibitor in top lane. The distraction from Braum and Lux onto the 3 members of Time as RP just allows Serious Series to pick up their first inhibitor at 17 minutes into the game, and that is a ton of pressure transferred over. That's too bad they couldn't pick up another kill, but it looks like they will slap down this mid turret, and it will indeed fall. So tier 2 mid falls. Darius is coming from behind. This is a very dangerous situation for Time as RP.
Looks like he's just going to go ahead and deny them their CS, or their creeps.
And the The short paw, I can never pronounce that. Actually, Poppy getting really aggressive on Illusion. Oh, what a great heal. He might be able to cut it out. Ooh, and the last auto attack
Oh,
lands.
is he gonna? Nope, he managed to get out barely, but
30 HP. Vayne
Vayne's
is on the
chasing.
comes out. Oh no! The attack move actually hits a minion. She ate the calling to the face. This could be very dangerous. Vayne.
Oh, I can't believe he's alive.
Wow, that auto into and then the turret goes down. Amumu dies.
If she'd gotten one auto off, I think he'd be dead right now. But
yeah, the condemn was an interesting decision. The piercing light came out, and it looked like she dodged it, and she did dodge the piercing light well. But he was Lulu dies in the tier 2 down bottom, and things just seem to be falling apart here. Time
Darius denies the back. He's going for the dive.
And this is going to be a very dangerous, nice Emperor's Divide. Wow,
the bleed, maybe? The bleed does the trick.
It does do enough, and Azir will fall. This should be the tier 1 mid for Serious Series, no problem. Their top lane is getting pushed in by super minions right now, and 19-5, 19 minutes in the game, 11k gold lead for Serious Series. They even throw out the final spark to just clear the wave and get the push going faster, and things are looking pretty grim for Time as RP here. Lux's ult used to be called something super cool. Oh, what was it? Actually, Lulu going really aggressive, flashing into the wild growth, but that quite did not do what she was expecting the rest of the team to be there. The culling will finish off Vayne. 2 members dead, and Amumu bandage tossed, and then thought that was a terrible decision and flashed right back out. He would have hit all 5 with Stan Money. Oh no, Azir getting hit by the concussive. And wow, just obliterated the Winter's Blight and the concussive blows. Poppy looking to knock everybody away. Does not actually hit anyone, unfortunately. Second inhibitor will fall, and I believe that this is the game for Serious Series. The already one in their Nexus turret down, the second one rapidly falling. It will be a final stand, Poppy. Not mentioning that it's gone on Darius. And Lulu just running in at this point, trying to be a distraction. 804 on the Lucian. Turret is about to fall. They're just farming kills at this point. The final spark comes in, doesn't actually land on anyone. Jarvan using the Cataclysm, and Vayne picks up a nice kill there. Manages to plot or dodge the Winter's Bite as well, but the Nexus is falling rapidly. Unless something miracle comes out right now, this will probably be GG. Jarvan jumping in, but Vayne will end up getting picked up here, and wow, Sad Mummy, they might live for a little bit. The TP is coming in from Darius. They do manage to pick up 2 kills. He's going to try to end the game. Lux is here as well. The Emperor's Divide actually manages to push them back. The Nexus is dropping, but it's not going to be enough. They managed to pick up Lux. They can hold this. This is incredible. And wow, Nathan does pick up a kill at the Noxian Guillotine. Wow, that must feel good for Poppy.
That last minute.
At last, she is able to pick up a kill onto Darius. They hold it. All credit to Time as RP. They hold the Nexus against all odds. The comeback is real.
That last-ditch effort. Hopefully we see a comeback. It'd be awesome.
I mean, that was a lot of gold in their favor. They're still down 9k gold, but that was a lot of gold in the pockets of their carries, which is exactly what they need. Azir's sitting at 3-3 right now. He's got his Rylai's and Nashor's completed, as well as the Elixir of Sorcery.
This is definitely going to be very rough, though. They don't have... They lack a little bit of wave clear and a pause coming out.
Pause, indeed. So, giving this pause, I need to get my spaghetti, says Azir. Okay, people are lagging. People need to get spaghetti. Interesting. So going through the item builds, actually this gives us finally time to go through the items. Lux sitting on that Morale and Elicon and Rabadon's Death Cap, as well as the Sorcerer's Shoes. And wow, Lucian, 815, 185 CS. He has his Essence Reaver. He has his Rapid Fire Cannon, and then look to be building into that Infinity's Edge very, very soon. And compared to pretty much the peanuts being completed on Time as RP side, you have the Bloodthirster on Vayne, you have the Rylai's, the Frozen Fist on Kios, as well as the Skirmisher Saber on Amumu, but other than that, not many big items coming up. Pause is all good. We're back into this game. And we did see already one crazy Nexus stand. They just need to stay, they need to fight as 5 and let Serious Series overcommit, but I don't think there is too much they can do unless they hold this. No turrets.
It's going to be really hard for them to just deal with them walking up into the Nexus several times.
which is exactly what they look like to be doing. Lulu about to die to the culling. Actually does not manage to land all the shots of the culling. Nexus is getting slapped down, but they do manage to pick up Jarvan. This still could be really good. The Emperor's Divide comes in. Azir does manage to get
Can Braum do it? He doesn't do it. They're so close.
3 kills back in the favor of Time is RP. The turret from Azir actually being set up in a very good location. Nexus sitting at 850 health right now, slowly regenning, and it's a long road, James. It's a long road. But Time is RP showing some true character, and it's just a matter of a backdoor even. Their second inhibitor should be responding.
Serious getting a little greedy without having all 5 there. If they had Darius and Luck there to kind of surround and envelop the Nexus as they attack, that probably would have been their best chance, but they went.
Time is RPs. Their middle inhibitor comes up. This is a bit of a different game. Got to both down an inhibitor and the Nexus. So this could be very, very interesting. But they have so many objectives they can take because Time is RP can't leave their base. So Sirius Series has the option to go to Dragon. They have the option to go to Baron and just really get a chokehold and finish out the game. And another pause. As I was gonna say, Time is RP can't really leave their base, or somebody could just walk in and auto attack some stuff. And the unpause comes in. Talking smack in chat between the players right here. On their own team, mind you, not between the players. You're still upholding sportsmanship. It's all very good. And the denial of resources coming in from a serious series, and
looks like they want to once again.
What were we gonna say? Third time's the charm. This will be the take the Nexus. Will they be able to do it? Oh, and Lux actually managed to get a huge combo onto Azir. He flashes away. The Wild Growth Husk comes out. Cataclysm as well. Actually, Jarvan stunned into his own wall. Keto manages to pick up Jarvan. This is going very, very well. But Darius looks like he might just want to go for the Nexus. Braum does get stunned up and killed by Poppy. And they managed to hold again. 2 members going down on Serious Series. What a great fight there from Time is RP. Showing the power of their comp. They needed this earlier in their game. 25 to 15. They're closing the gold gap, but it is still... They have a mountain to climb, especially with that Lucian doing so much damage. And Lucian actually taking a straight up fight right now. And here
Darius
comes
going in.
Manages to get the grab. The light binding does land, and a lot of damage going on. Oh, the Banner's Dust doesn't quite hit. This is not looking good for great flash away from Darius to stay alive. And Lucian does so much damage right now. He is almost invincible. The culling comes out. And Lucian and Lux.
Oh, Lux might be in trouble here.
Oh, taking a ton of damage from the shoulders. Oh! That would have, in theory, been one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. And Lucian,
this may be game if Lucian can win a duel with Poppy.
This is going to be very dangerous. Poppy doesn't actually manage to get the stun off, but a ton of damage coming out. The, the Ardent Blaze does miss. This is very, very serious situation.
I do believe Lucian's in trouble here.
I don't think he has enough damage to get the Nexus. This is going to be an XPK situation, but no. Poppy does manage to get the shutdown, and once again, they hold. They're pure resilience, and the inhibitors are back up, so they need to finish off this inhibitor before they can start hitting on that Nexus turret. Braum and Jarvan going to be trying to slap that one down with Poppy and Amumu trying to stop them. Oh. The knockout just knocks a couple minions away. The cannon minion Cataclysm comes out. Poppy gets the stun again. Mummy Curse of the Sad Mummy comes in. Jarvan drops! What is going on? Oh, but Darius is back. This is an insane game right now.
Series could have closed this out, but they're getting a little greedy with how they play. I feel like they're honestly underestimating Time is RP because of that difference in rank. But Time is RP is showing some real tenacity by hanging on here.
Absolutely, and their team fights have been fantastic. I don't know, and you can't even really blame Serious Series because they were so far ahead for so long. It seemed like the game was all but won, but 3 sieges later, and Time is RP is still in this game. Why are they just not going for the Baron, though, Effect? Would that not be, like, the clear thing to do to get them into the base? They need to get this Baron. Time is RP can't really leave their base. They can now that their inhibitors have responded, but if they had gone for the Baron earlier, that would have given them a huge advantage, and even now they're just kind of pushing in their side waves and just waiting for something to happen.
There's still some risk with them attempting to do a Baron. With Amumu's ability to basically snare and everybody inside the pit.
Yep.
Because I've seen Amumu steal more Barons than almost any champion, I think.
And yeah, Time is RP. I mean, They just gotta keep doing what they're doing right now, not get caught out. I think that's the really big thing, and this could be very dangerous. Vayne did walk over a ward. 4 members of Serious Series coming over. Poppy manages to land the stun on Braum. Braum taking a ton of damage, but a great Glacial Fisher there, and so
This
much
could be
damage.
bad.
Where's the Pistol Spark?
Ooh.
It does not actually land on anyone, but Amumu will drop in the top right now. Poppy on the run. What? Jarvan flashes and cataclysms on, shuts down Poppy. And this is looking very, very dire. Nice wild growth there, but this is a 3 versus 5 right now. Ooh, the knock condemned does knock Jarvan away. The turret does come up, and Azir might be able to turn this. He's doing so much damage right now. But alas, it'll be a 2-for-0 in the favor of Serious Series. And oh, Lucian getting very aggressive and doing a ton of damage. Vayne, what are you doing? No! Does actually fall to the winner's bite. That is not what they needed. But Azir doing so much damage. Jarvan at 50 HP. He lives. 50 HP, Lulu. Oh, no.
That's unfortunate. This might be game.
They might do it. Death timers are fairly long at this point, 28 minutes into the game. The GG does come out from Poppy, but it's Azir and Amumu, and Amumu still does have Curse of the Sad Mummy, so they might actually be able to do this with Azir's damage. I'm a believer. Poppy's here as well, but does...
Serious gonna play it safe and get the inhibitors and back out.
Very smart. Amumu's actually trying to get into an engage. Does get the Curse of the Sad Mummy only onto one member who does use the Quicksilver Slash Lucian there. They do pick up a trade kill on a Braum, and they live to fight another day. The Nexus is regen to full health. It was at like 250 at one point.
That's just been a really, really tight game for them so far.
Oh my goodness. And so now 2 inhibitors in the favor of Serious Series. Now do they go for the Baron? Is it a lot safer now?
Now that the inhibitors are down again, yes, it's definitely an option for them to Baron. There's really not any way for Times RP to really leave their base as it currently stands.
And the pings from Serious Series are actually onto the Baron. No wards on it from the side of Time as RP. I mean, you can assume, but they don't really know for sure, and it is dangerous to leave their base, because they do have...
And they don't even really need to take Baron, they can just kind of stand near it until Times RP has to go back to their base.
Mm-hmm. And also, if they do commit to it, Darius could actually teleport to the ward that's inside Time as RP's base and just see if he can finish off Nexus.
That's actually probably what's going to end up happening.
They are burning this Baron very, very quickly, though, and yeah, Time as RP...
They're definitely DPing us down really quickly.
Not even going to contest it. Baron does fall 30 minutes into the game, pardon me. They pinged out the dragon, but what is this, attempt number 5? To break this siege now, but with the Baron buff, 2 inhibitors down. This is probably the best, if not from the first siege, this is probably the best attempt they'll have at sieging. Lucian's 14-3. He's almost full build. He's just finishing up that Mercurial Scimitar. Lux just finishing her Phantom Dancer, and Azir's doing a lot of damage, but I don't know if it'll be enough. They are looking to go in for the death cheer. Still being very cautious, showing some respect now. And Lux is doing a ton of damage as well. Super minions piling in. The Baron buff as well, and this looks like it could be it. The fight is starting! What a fantastic final spark from Lux! Picks up 2 kills, but Azir knocks 2 people back onto the fountain! But will it be enough to turn? The Nexus is getting auto-attacked down. Ladies and gentlemen, that is good game. Serious Series will be taking down Time as RP and moving on to the next round to face the Da Vinci Load, our reigning champions. GG. You know what? That was a heck of a game.
It started off, it was like one-sided the whole time, but Time as RP did an excellent job at the end, taking advantage of Serious Series trying to kill the Nexus. They had all the tools they needed to basically continuously push them back and try to recover.
They showed some resilience and some gusto in holding on to that long, which is incredible. Good for them, but congratulations to Serious Series. It looked like they were going to take it very early on after a fantastic early game, but they eventually did. It was a little shady at first, but they got there. Congratulations to them. They'll be moving on, and we will take a look at the brackets right now and get into the next game. So, what is happening? Looks like 420 Help Me beat Korean Dog, Best Dog, so congratulations to them. Moving on to the semi-final, who they will be playing the winner of the Da Vinci Load and Time as RP. Let me see what else is going on here. Did the Broken Meta X game finish yet? Does not look like it. So those teams are still battling it out. So I would assume the next game we will be seeing is the Da Vinci Load versus Sirius series, which is our number 9 game, our quarterfinals. Moving along nicely after that game, and then Procession's still waiting for the winner of Common Sense Long Swords to see who they play. Broken Meta X and Team 4 Believe probably in game right now. That is another quarterfinal, so we're moving along nicely here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We are the Reverie Esports League of Legends Open Tournament Series. Once again, a huge shout out to our sponsors, Vibi, LOL History app, as well as Battlefy. Those guys are fantastic. Please check them out on Twitter. Follow them. Vibi is our head sponsor, and they're doing great things in pushing forward this whole highlight system that they have going on their website. And it's great for sports, it's great for esports, and I know we're all here for the esports, so big thank you to those guys for being able to support us and let us do what we do and hopefully bring you guys some entertainment. Will giving us the bracket. It was an awesome first game. It was fantastic defense. And huge props to those two teams. And we are just waiting on the tournament code, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be getting into that game for you. If you haven't, tell your friends. If you're not doing too much on this fine Saturday night, hopefully things are going well for everyone. Enjoying some League of Legends. And did I get... Enrique invited me to the game. Enrique being the AD carry. Awesome. Gentlemen. Let me see. Invite.
Definitely excited to see the Da Vinci Load back once again to defend their title.
Yeah, this should be an incredible game. I'm looking forward to it. I have the game code for you, Enrique invite special.
Okay.
And there's the game code for you, good sir. So we will be getting into the Da Vinci Load. Versus... Jeez, we just watched them. Sirius series, pardon me. It looks like they will be the purple team this time, and the Da Vinci Load will be our blue team.
There we go. Moved into spectate. Be ready to switch.
And just waiting on one more person in the lobby. Relog and client crash. That happens. So, actually seeing some new members on the Da Vinci Load plan today. I don't believe Armored Bear's role. At least I didn't, unless he played last week.
He did play last week.
Mm-hmm.
And we do not see Snowstorm this week.
Oh, no Snowstorm. That's their jungler. So I wonder who'll be taking his position. Yeah, but
I do
Enrique
believe
still...
Quest and KO and Sylvu. I have not Sylviu. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Somebody want to tell me? I'm just gonna call him Syl for the time being. I don't recognize either him or Quest.
No, also new names to me as well. So a different roster being fielded here by the Da Vinci Load. We'll see if it's quite as effective as how they have been in the last couple weeks. I'm sure they will be all very high tier players. But Sirius Series did play a very good early game, so we'll see if they can keep it up.
Absolutely. Let's see if they can continue the
Forever was
momentum.
Challenger last season, he's saying 1v1 him. I'll take him up on that 1v1. I'll get crushed, but I'll take him up. Oh, jeez. We good when you are. And actually, Common Sense and the Longsword just finished up, so we actually have our quarterfinal brackets completely filled up now. Processions will be playing Longsword. Congratulations to Longsword for taking that victory. And we're moving right on into the second round. Awesome, everyone is ready, and we are getting into this game nice and quickly. I like when things move well together. Move quickly. Just waiting on the Da Vinci Load to be ready here. Love from Darts House. Thank you to the guys out in Darts House watching this, keeping the stream, supporting the stream. Thank you, you guys. You guys rock. All right, just we did see a really good game from Sirius Series. I'm a little nervous that they weren't able to close it out.
That was definitely a little worrying. Like I said before, I felt like they were just getting a little greedy in how aggressively they wanted to push. They were
zealous.
Because they weren't taking their time. And like the very first time they did it with 3 members against 5. And no matter how far they are behind or they are ahead, that's still really dangerous.
Absolutely. And the Da Vinci load, they have been so dominant the past 3 weeks of these tournaments. It's that's not the kind of team you want to make mistakes against. The Da Vinci load will punish you for it. And we are into the draft, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Da Vinci load being your blue team and Sirius Series quarterfinal #1 of the Reverie Esports number 36 Open. I'm Koleg. Joining me is Effects. Thank you for being with us on the Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, and we are getting into our first quarter final. Just waiting on some bans. It'll be interesting to see because
Eventually taking their time on what they want to ban here.
I don't know if they were watching the stream, but they could have seen the Gangplank ban actually coming out. Soraka ban instantly there from Sirius Series to respond.
Soraka recently getting some interesting changes. Teemo being banned out immediately.
That Teemo target ban, people know. People do their homework. They lolking. Volibear actually being banned as well. Volibear, a very good champion, I think, in concept, but just suffers from being able to be kited out, because once he uses a Ferocious Roar to get in, he doesn't have too much if he gets kited out from that. And Yasuo once again being banned out. Yasuo no being on the side of the Sirius series. Target bans coming out, it looks like. And purple team.
I do believe the Volibear brand is targeted towards the Da Vinci Led. If I remember correctly last week, one of their players has an enormous amount of games on Volibear.
And once again, the Malphite band coming out, and first pick now. Just waiting on the Da Vinci load to see what they want to do with this. I was about to say, do they want to pick up Ezreal for Enrique? And that is absolutely what they do. We've seen Enrique do ungodly things on that Ezreal. And another Jarvan. I would love to see.
Always manages to get ahead even when he goes tier.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable.
He is incredibly talented carry. I would love a Bard. The Series is becoming one of my favorite teams because they're picking like all my favorite champions, right? I love it. So hovering the Bard and actually locking the Bard and hovering the Jarvan, which we saw played to good effect last game. He was able to get a ton of pressure spread out and get his lanes, especially top lane, rolling in a in a factor that really, really hurt the purple team last game. So if he can keep his lanes rolling, that's what he's going to need to do against the Da Vinci load. Because we know they're incredibly strong in lane. Although we haven't seen these new faces yet, so that the Da Vinci load are running, so it'll be interesting to see.
It'd definitely be interesting to see how they're going to handle not having Snowstorm as jungle, because I always feel like he's making just enormous amounts of impact all across the board.
His Nidalee was so ridiculously good to watch. It was our Nick Smells on the blue team. We have the Da Vinci load, who are our previous champions 3 weeks running, and we have Sirius Series on the purple team, who we just saw take a very good win in our first round. No, Broken Meta X is there on the other side of the bracket.
Unfortunately, we won't see either of those teams unless one of them makes it to the final round.
Once we get into the finals, and Vayne being instant locked after the Janna and the Gragas picks. And we've seen Enrique play with a Janna support, and he does fantastic work. Vayne also had a very good showing last game, but if there's one thing that's a very, very scary prospect, it is losing bottom lane to the Da Vinci load. So Vayne's going to have to really show up and play a little bit safer. We saw some positional errors, which is all too common, being ADC being where you have to position pretty much the best out of anyone. So we'll see if they can keep that lane even, or even just slightly in the favor of the Da Vinci load, because if Enrique comes out with only a slight advantage, that's a good lane. You've done well in that lane. Wukong also being locked in for that top lane. Corki being hovered. And I looking to go for another teamfight-centric comp on the side of Sirius Series over here.
And the Da Vinci Lab once again looks like going for more of a disengage and poke comp. Let's see what else they lock in here. But Ziggs kind of fits that, what I'm thinking.
Absolutely. Caitlyn would be interesting. Also the Lux.
Illaoi is definitely unusual. But I've always noticed, I don't know how strong she is in tournament play, but I have noticed in solo queue that she can be very irritating to deal with. But it's not going to be, it's going to be Corki and possibly Nautilus.
Would make a lot more sense. Corki, a very highly contested pick in the top level of League of Legends right now, as well as Nautilus. Nautilus's damage is just out of control right now.
So they have the ability to both poke and engage and disengage. They have a lot of tools at their disposal here. Nautilus being locked in, he's just so strong right now. Even with the recent nerf to his shield to make it a little weaker.
He still does an incredible amount of damage, and the amount of CC he brings to the table as well. Even if he didn't have the damage, the CC itself is incredibly strong.
No, I'm sorry, they didn't nerf his shield. They nerfed the damage from his
Yes.
from is it Riptides? I can't remember now.
Yes.
It went from like 220 damage to what was it? 200 damage to like 175 at max level. So that sounds about right.
The Lux pick as well. I quite like the comp that Serious Series is running. Like we do every game, effect, I'm going to hit you with this one. Wipe the names off, wipe the ranks off. Which team do you like better and why?
I really like Series' picks because I've always favored comps that go in and just fight. I like those comps a lot because they're a lot more exciting. Feels like poke comps can be kind of boring sometimes because they just poke and run away. But that's also because I find those comps really annoying to deal with sometimes. So I'm kind of biased there.
Absolutely.
But in terms of actually who's probably going to win comp wise, I do feel like Times RP has the superior comp as long as they can use the disengage tools they have to keep the Wukong, the
The
Jarvan
Da
off
Vinci
them.
load, my friend.
Yeah. The Da Vinci loads comp is just. It's a very, very good comp. They have the Gragas barrel, they have the Janna ultimate. They have so many ways to keep themselves from being caught out by a Wukong Cyclone or the Jarvan Cataclysm or the Lux Bindings.
And actually, interesting enough, Syl on that Janna is going to be taking Ignite instead of the regular exhaust, so they're going to probably be looking to get really aggressive in the bottom lane.
Oh, this is unusual. Bacon is not supporting here.
Oh, was Bacon the support last week as well?
Absolutely. He's
Interesting.
always been supporting Enrique, so it's interesting to see Syl here doing the Janna support instead. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes the dynamic in bot lane. So I've always felt like Bacon and Enrique had a very, very solid bot lane.
Enrique alone, I think if he was playing on two computers, would have a very serious, solid bot lane. But you know what? I really like the last pick. I like the comps that are coming out of Series Series. They play exciting, very fight-heavy comps, and the amount of AoE Cataclysm into the Wukong ultimate as well as the final spark coming from Lux offers a lot of damage in a very short amount of time, as well as the Lux bindings as well. With the Bard bindings, there's bindings all over the place, so that could offer a lot of pick potential.
Oh, absolutely. They can use the if they can find ways to get picks, get control of the jungle, make sure that there's no wards. There's definitely opportunities for them to get those picks they need to push to win. And
Absolutely.
Enrique, before, despite his skill, has shown us that he can be a little aggressive. And so there's definitely a possibility of him getting caught out.
And
And
yeah,
I'm interested to
especially
see how well these two new players play. Obviously, they're very skilled, being high diamond master. But
especially with the potency of the pick comp. Not even so much the pick comp, but the amount of pick CC skills coming out of the Serious Series. If Enrique steps out of position, they need to hop on him, and they can blow him up really quickly because they certainly have the burst as well.
absolutely, so they're definitely not lacking for damage.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be. I'm very excited. I think it's gonna be a fantastic game. And as we're in the last 30 seconds of the delay, are you any shenanigans coming in level one?
There's definitely a possibility. We did see some shenanigans going on last game, but that was coming in from Times RP trying to catch Series off guard. Um, if I see it doing from anyone, it's probably going to be Series. They do have the Lux binding. Vayne can take condemn it if
Okay.
she really needs it, feels like she needs it, but the Bard also has some CC, which is good. If he can connect it with another champion or a wall to stun that first champion he hits. So we are getting into the loading screen now.
Loading screen coming right at you, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be getting into this game momentarily. This is the Reverie Esports League of Legends Open Tournament Series number 36. I am Coleg. Joining me is Effect, and we are watching the Da Vinci Load versus, Serious Series. This would be an incredible upset. In the 2 weeks we have been doing this, Effect, I've seen the Da Vinci Load drop one game in a best of 3, and that's it. They have done incredible amount of work, and
They almost had a forfeit last week.
what? Really?
One of their players was missing for about 4 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
They had 5 minutes to get all 5 players, but he managed to make it at the very end. There's no problems. They ended up playing at their final round pretty safely.
That's one of the stressful things about tournaments. You never know what kind of things can happen. Oh, I'm giving the skin advantage to Serious Series.
Oh, absolutely.
Good for them. Warrior Kingdom's Jarvan's so great. And Snow Day Bard. I love the art. Bard is such a fantastic
He has
character.
hot chocolate. And the penguin's adorable.
Absolutely. I'm curious if we'll see any of the new champion whose name I constantly butcher, so I'm just gonna call him Soul.
Is it,
Iruleon Soul.
I think that's right. I'd have to actually look at it and
Yeah.
get it in my head.
I butcher that name constantly, but I would love to see him. I think he has a very cool kit. Same designer as Bard, so that's where things are moving in my head. And finishing up the loading, everyone at 100%. We are just waiting to finish up here. That Masters border looks real nice. Makes my gold border not look that nice.
And my game crashed again, so that's exciting.
That's really bizarre. See, mine does this thing where like it definitely freezes at this point, and I hear the music, but it doesn't quite crash.
Yeah, it wasn't doing this last week. I don't understand what entirely is going on. Sometimes it would crash if I had, say, Baron replays open, but when I'm doing this, I just turn that off.
Alright,
So
well, I'll do a radio cast. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Saturday night.
we're in.
Watching
I made back in.
Legends. There goes all my chutzpah. Anyways.
To crush your hopes and dreams.
The blue team pinging out heavily the bottom jungle, but it looks like Serious Series is not going to be doing anything. Although Wukong was heading top, does make his way down bottom. GLHFs do come out. Jarvan getting aggressive into the jungle there. Does see Janna, throws down the Demacian standard. Bard picking up his chimes.
Looks like there will be no shenanigans in this area.
That was a dangerous situation for Bard. Nothing skilled yet for Nautilus. He could have skilled that dredge line and could have been some scary CC. But yeah, I think everyone's just going to be doing the whole puff out our chests. We're the better team right now. Competition, just walking around, dancing around. And yeah, Wukong already heading back top. So things will be... Oh! Do you see that smack talk coming out right now?
Oh.
So the GLHFs came out from Yasuo, but actually some damage going on to Gianna very early, and she's taking a ton of damage. This could be a bad... Ooh. Vayne already had Tumble skilled her. That could have been a very, very deadly condemned. But other than that, Gianna will be backing, so no early golems. Not that they're going to get it anyways, because Quest and KO on that Gragas is starting red. So jungle are starting on the same side of the jungle, which can be interesting. We'll see where they clash for the first. And things will be standard. How do these lanes match up, Effect?
Not entirely too sure for top lane. I would normally give the advantage to Wukong, but because Nautilus wasn't a common pick when I was playing in top lane, and Wukong's always been pretty strong if he could get past his early sustain issues. But honestly, right now it's probably going to be Nautilus. Nautilus is just so strong right now. And for jungle-wise, I feel like probably Gragas is going to have more impact. Though Jarvan definitely doesn't lack impact by any means.
And we saw Aeon start playing it last game, and he was able to bring a lot of pressure to the map.
Absolutely. Mid lane, I'd probably give the advantage to Corki. He has just as much AoE damage as Lux does. Maybe a little bit less, but quite a bit still.
And aggression in the bot lane, actually. The tornado comes in, but it actually gets thrown right back at her, and the damage going back on to Syl. And they're just trading love tabs. Wow.
Corki getting caught by a snare there. Destroying my expectations.
And it's a very potent combo if you can get the light binding into Lucent Singularity and then proc the illumination on Lux. That can offer a ton of damage. Jarvan finishing up his red buff, and Gragas finishing up his blue buff, respectively. And in the bot lane, actually, a ton of aggression going out. Oh, and Reek incredibly low. Bard does manage to get the first blood. And Vayne getting really low. The Ignite is ticking, but she does auto, lives the heal, and first blood going over to the side of Series. And that's what you need in the bot lane versus the Da Vinci load. And Reek dropping, and the advantage in the bot lane going towards, and actually the junglers mean the top lane. Combo Dragon comes out, and ooh, there's rotations coming in from everyone. But will anything come of the situation? Nautilus and Wukong actually exchanging blows. Going heavily in the favor of Nautilus. The dredge line comes in. Wukong getting incredibly low. Does manage to flash away. Great flash in reaction to Quest and KO coming in. He does have to back. And actually the mid laners fighting it out near the red buff of the purple team's jungle. Pretty even right now. Everyone is popping biscuits, and it's the cooldowns pretty much coming out. Oh, but a great flash trying to initiate by Jarvan. Great reactionary flash there from Morning Bacon, but he's getting low as well. The red buff, oh, the snare misses, but the last auto attack does land. And that is 2 kills going in the favor of Series here in this early...
Basically exactly what they wanted right now.
Absolutely. And wow, Janna got incredibly low on the bot lane, but so did Vayne having to back out, and then Reek just throwing down a lot of pressure on the Bard.
Teleported to the bot lane, Jarvan almost getting caught out.
Oh my goodness, this is insane. This is a very, very tough situation right now for Enrique. He might go down again. Wukong does get the crushing blow and does manage to pick up. Enrique drops twice. We were talking about the series incredibly potent early game and how aggressive they can be. And 3 kills 4 minutes into the game against the Da Vinci load, and already a 1.4k gold lead. This is incredible.
This could be it. This could be the day we see the Da Vinci load dethroned.
You just cursed him. The commentators curse. But yeah, no, fantastic play by Series. We can see if they'll keep it up through the rest of this early game and transition. Because we saw when they were playing Time is RP that their late game decision making was a little questionable. So we'll see if they can maybe solidify that issue and fix it. And Vayne getting a really good condemn. And Janna taking a ton of damage from these minions. Vayne will get one more auto, and she does die. But this is very bad for Vayne. Enrique may be able to pick up a kill here. Ooh,
oh, the Duke.
Wow, Mystic Shot does not land.
Rom gonna say that. Bard's gonna say the day. Wow.
Kinko to Joker doing so much work on that Vayne right now. Picks up a solo kill on Sill's Janna. And he is 14 CS ahead, a kill and an assist ahead of Enrique right now. And that is huge for them. Oh, excuse me. And... looking, you were talking about the Corki though. Even though he did go down and Lux managed to pick up an assist, 31 to 14 CS, and then the top lane as well, 33 to 15 CS. So, well, series are making the plays and getting the kills. The CS discrepancies are heavily in the favor. But wow, actually the light binding does land. Lucent Singularity gets a ton of damage. Jarvan as well needs to get the knock up, but a very nice Valkyrie safely away. Gragas is here to help out. The Phosphorus Bomb going right back onto Jarvan. And very good gank attempt there, knowing that Flash, and they're feeling quite confident right now, Series. And oh, the TP coming in from the top lane right now. Nautilus comes in, but a great Cosmic Binding there from Bard. And wow,
Vayne is trapped. This could be it. And
that was, oh no, and Bard portals in. And he will actually drop as well, so great teleport in from the top lane from Armored Bear's rule. 2-0 in the favor of the Da Vinci load, and I'm surprised they're not going for Dragon right now.
Da Vinci load managed to finally pick up some kills to even out the game. Series going string. It's a very strong early game, but a little tiny mistake there at the end there.
Vayne was pretty much caught out because of Gragas coming in from the flank and tried to pick up the kill on Enrique. And I appreciate Shady Stabber on that Bard trying to come in and save her, but was probably not the wisest decision. And this evens things pretty much right back out. 200 gold difference.
Tornado there to stop the Jarvan knockup.
But what shocks me why the Da Vinci load didn't immediately call the Dragon after that 2-0. You think that would have been a fairly safe play to make?
Possibly. It depends on how well they could prevent Lux from coming in to basically poke them out, because Dragon does a lot of early game damage.
Yep.
They maybe felt they were a little too low to possibly do it safely.
This is why they're all Diamond and Master tier players, and I am not ranked yet. I'm afraid to play that last game.
I need to play my ranked games. I'll probably end up in gold, and then
Nice.
I have to work my way up to platinum again. But moving on to the game, Jarvan.
Top lane getting a big push on. things are pretty much even, actually. Gold now slightly favoring the Da Vinci load after that swing. And it's really the CS differences that are coming into effect. 20 CS already in the lead for Corki in that mid lane. Top lane about 10, and then 3 actually in the favor of Series in the bot lane. Bot lane's been a very, very interesting matchup so far. Maybe you were mentioning how you saw Morning Bacon with Enrique, so maybe there's a little bit of communication issues between Syl and Enrique does get stunned up. Shield comes out, and Series just winning every trade in the bot lane right now and being so aggressive. Third proc of that Silver Bolts. Where is the next little bit of aggression from either of these teams coming out?
So far, it depends on where the junglers want to go. Top lane is just a wall for Wukong. There's just not much he can do against that Nautilus. And I think both mid lanes are fairly safe. Lux, despite having no mobility, is still able to farm safely thanks to her range and AoE.
Yes.
But it looks like Jarvan's coming up for a top lane gank.
And a lot of damage actually getting on Wukong. The Death Charge does come out, knock him up, but Jarvan, he does have the Cataclysm Flash in, but Wukong does get the Cyclone, does end up dropping, and wow, so much damage went back onto Jarvan. He was tanking those minions for far too long, and the double kill going in the favor of Quest and KO.
Gragas coming in for the steal. Is
And
able to pick up the double and then now pushing that top turret down.
Enrique clearing out the bottom lane with the True Shot Barrage. And there's a lot of fine cocoa back there for Kinko to Joker to go and just pick up some health. Wukong does teleport into the top back lane, so the Da Vinci Low will see that he no longer has teleport, so that offers some more pressure. Corki doing what he can in the mid lane, still ahead about
Enrique
20.
getting really aggressive here, but he's taking a lot of damage in return.
And they'll just exchange loving skill shots at the end there. And things are looking to slightly swing back into the Da Vinci Load's favor, a 1k gold lead right now, but Jarvan's coming down to make his presence known in the bot lane. The word is put down, but Janna is in a very bad situation.
Amazing
no!
flash.
Fantastic flash. I really like the idea from Bard with the Tempered Fate, but unfortunately it did not benefit them at all. Corki getting aggressive on the Lux. The light banding does land, but Gragas is here as well. This is a dangerous situation. Singularity, the knockup does come in, and Jarvan is not very tanky right now. The Cataclysm comes back down. Bard doing what he can, but it will not be enough. The bot lane rotations are much faster from the Da Vinci Load, and Reek picks up Shady Stabber. Lux trying to pick up 1 kill. Will it be enough? She needs the auto. The barrier and the auto. Janna gonna try to auto. Questionable decision to use the final spark. Maybe she just wanted those 3 range creeps.
Wanted that extra gold. Can't go wrong.
Interesting decision there, but you know what? Does manage to pick up 1 kill, but that is a 3-for-1 in the favor of the Da Vinci Load. Really taking a hold of this mid game and a 2k gold swing. Right now, top turret will be going down quite soon. Wukong having a rough time up there, but mid lane is big discrepancy. And actually, wow, Vayne doing what she can against this Gragas. He is huge right now. Does manage to flash away. Ooh, she needed like 1 more auto there. He did dive under the turret, but Vayne is in a very, very scary situation. The True Shot Barrage will not quite connect. Does manage to dodge the barrel as well. He needs a rotation from his team here. Gonna try to pick up the Gragas, but it will not be enough. The body slam comes in, the shield from Janna, and that is a very dead Vayne and a safe Fat Man.
This Gragas is just doing especially since he picked up that double kill, he's just been able to basically kind of go off.
A lot of work for his team. They know Jarvan's here, but they're baiting this out because Gragas is still here. And yes, for those gentlemen mentioning that Procession Esports forfeited, I did let Will know in our Skype group, and he will be on it. Fly will keep you guys updated if I hear anything. Perfect. Things going back to the standard way lanes right now. No dragons to be taken yet. We're 12 minutes in. 2.4k for the Da Vinci Load. And what does Series need to do to get back in this game?
They need to find a place where Jarvan can gank without being counter-ganked by Gragas.
Actually, sorry to cut you off here, but in the bot lane, a ton... Ooh, but the TP is coming in from Nautilus. This is a very scary situation. Jarvan's here as well. What a great monsoon! Knocking Vayne right back into the fight. Does get Death Charge. Oh goodness, no. Armored Bears is doing so much work right now. Jarvan take the portal. Will they chase this deep? Lux is here. They don't know Lux is here. Nice Cataclysm back in. The light binding lands, and Reek does drop, but the rest of the Da Vinci Load are here. They're coming in. Wukong needs to push that top lane. Nice snare. Does manage it too. Explosive casks. Does knock away and finish off the Bard, and that is a 4-4-2 in the favor of the Da Vinci Load. Great rotations and great team play.
That was a very well done dive. Nautilus's ability to tank that turret is just kind of ridiculous.
We were saying with the serious need to get back into it, and that was certainly not it. They do manage to get the top turret, but the bottom turret falls as well, so that was a net gain of very lots for the Da Vinci load, and they're also going to be able to deny this blue buff to Lux, who, behind as she is, that is not helpful at all.
No.
And they also pinging out the dragon. We'll see if we'll see the first dragon of the game going down. The only one relatively low is Armored Bear's Rule on that Nautilus, and it's already dropped. Dragon is pretty much going to go down.
That's pretty deceptive. He actually still has 1,000 HP.
Yeah, it was just the health bar that was deceptive, and actually Corki getting very, very aggressive. They're leading them towards Jarvan, and we can see another big fight in the jungle right here. They took the long way. Bard does get absolutely destroyed by Quest and KO. A nice Demacian standing in the Dragon side to get out of there. The Condemn as well, and wow. We were talking how they were missing Snowstorm, who was a fantastic jungler, but Quest and KO is doing so much work on the Scraggus. Lux does get stunned up, no death charge available for another 45 seconds. Slow comes out, she should be able to get out of here okay. But it looks like they want to re-engage Wukong, and Vayne coming in as well. Jarvan here, but low. Lux doing the life binding lands. Very nice shutdown on the Gragas. That is exactly what they needed. Nice flashlight cone. Wukong doing so much. Final Spark comes in, does not quite pick up Nautilus, but he does die to low forever. They want to get onto this Corki right now. That cyclone was great. This is exactly what Series needed right now. Corki one more on the way. What a great tornado from Janna. Managed to keep it alive, but just for another second, Alistar finished up, picks up Morning Bacon, and now that is a 3-for-0 in the favor of Series, and that is what they needed. Good for them, and now we have a game on our hands. Just slightly less than a 2k gold lead. They might be able to push this mid-tier turret down, but Enrique got a ton of damage, and that top turret will be going down, although Wukong teleporting in. This is a very dangerous teleport for him. And turret does go down, but he's getting very aggressive at Enrique and Wukong in this 1v1, and Enrique has the Frozen Fist done already. The slow does land. Ooh, and one more time. This could be he needs to dodge. Mid-turret, wow, Enrique actually flashing for it very aggressively. Does manage to pick it up with the last Mystic shot, and in the mid lane, Series did pick up their first turret of the game, or their second turret of the game, pardon me, with that mid-tier 1 going down.
So despite Da Vinci taking control of the game back, they made a little error staying in the jungle for so long when they were so low. So it allowed Series to come in and just take those kills back. And there's a dive going on.
Dredge line comes in right now. Bard gets the manages. A great ultimate there. The ult as well from Ezreal coming in, but this is no good. Double kill for Corki. Bard incredibly low. And Enrique is going to find him as well. The Arcane shift in. Actually, Quest and KO finishing it off. And the mid turret should be going down here in the favor of the Da Vinci load. A very well executed dive, pardon me. Bard did what he could with that Tempered Fate, but it was not enough. Corki was doing so much damage, and Armored Bear's Rule is that incredibly scary Nautilus front line right now. He has so much health and so much CC, nothing is killing him. And another turret in the favor of the Da Vinci load as they push on to this tier 2. And wow, Gragas actually the body slam flash into the explosive class, into the depth charge, into pretty much everything, and the Joker goes down on that Vayne. 18 to 11, 16 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. And oh my goodness, Jarvan getting caught out as well, but the late binding does possibly come. Wukong looks like he wants to engage with the Cyclone. Fantastic work. Jarvan comes in. Will the Cataclysm? Where's the Cataclysm? But a great body slam right here. And they just managed to kite back and a dredge line in onto the Bard. Nice final spark, but it'll not be enough to finish anyone off. One more auto, and actually Lux does.
That was an awesome Cyclone that hit all 5 members, but they didn't have the DPS to follow up.
And what was surprising was Cataclysm was up on Jarvan, but he did not use it. But yeah, with Vayne getting picked off slightly before that, did not have the damage. First inhibitor turret of the game falls, and the Da Vinci load will be backing off, counting their riches, their newfound riches, and buying some items. Good fights.
Absolutely.
These teams, from what we've seen, of course, of the Da Vinci load over the past couple tournaments, and the Series, what we saw earlier, deliver us very entertaining games. So we hope you guys are enjoying it. This is once again the Reverie Esports League of Legends Open number 36, and looks like the pace is going to be slowing down a little bit as the Da Vinci load goes back some buys. Going over the items, do you see anything that's really stepping out to you, or is it all pretty standard stuff?
There's nothing too surprising. Taking a look here a little more. You don't see... Oh, there's a little...
Sorry, in the mid lane, a little bit of a tussle right now. Gragas does actually get caught up. Vayne doing what she can to kite back and does manage to live, but Nautilus coming in from the backside, getting onto that Lux. Wukong is here as well. Nautilus maybe in a little deep. The Cosmic Binding does not land. The Lucent Binding does, and it looks like Nautilus will be falling, but Morning Bacon picks up a kill on the Joker at the same time. 2-for-1 in the favor of Serious Series, and but the pressure's still in the favor of the Da Vinci Load. Dragon up in 135. And yes, we were talking about, builds.
Like I said before, nothing too surprising build-wise. Mob Mord is coming up first from the Wukong to try and counter Nautilus's magic damage. May not have been the best decision, may have wanted to go for like a Black Cleaver, but I'm not the one playing, he is. You don't see Blithering King being built too often first on Vayne anymore, though maybe that's changed within recent patches.
I mean, I can see where she's coming from, especially with how big Quest and KO is right now and being able to hop on her without much reason.
It's definitely not a bad item on her, but it's just been less common on her since they nerfed it at the beginning of the season.
And actually, Ezreal getting dived on, and Reek taking a ton of damage. The Condemn does land. Final Spark lands, but Morning Bacon is dominating as well. 1-for-1 so far for the fight. Cyclone does manage only to hit Gragas. Corki getting incredibly low. Vayne does manage to get the auto off, and the finishing crushing blow there. And oh, Gragas, the Joker not in position. That Gragas is not somebody you want to be messing with. And that was actually a rather good fight for Serious Series. Ends
Absolutely.
up in a 2-2.
Taking advantage of Enrique's, I talked about this before, but Enrique's always been very aggressive, so he was a little far forward, and he did get caught because of it.
But that was also a 4 versus 5 with Nautilus just pushing the top lane, and then even forcing the flash from Alone Forever on that Wukong to get out of there.
Gragas using his smite to steal the Scarab.
Very smart. And yeah, speaking of Gragas, Quest and KO 7-2 and 10 right now, just doing a huge amount of work, really swinging the game back in the favor of the Da Vinci Load. And he was one of the new players that we hadn't seen on the roster before, but really showing up and showing some dominance in this jungle.
Absolutely.
Second dragon of the game just spawning, and the Da Vinci Load on it immediately. No wards here for Serious Series, so they have no clue that this is going on right now. Should drop no problem. Baron spawning very, very soon in 10 seconds, and actually, Serious Series have a little bit of idea of what's going down here in this bot lane. They could actually get a pick right here. A Bard ultimate would be very effective, but I'm surprised they didn't engage in on that.
The limited vision was pretty limited at the moment, so they probably knew Dragon was happening. Oh,
and wow, actually,
King
Enrique just doing so much damage and taking out with that barrier, and this fight is all over the map. They're on the wrong side of their jungle right now. Enrique flashing in, gets the last Mystic shot, finish it up. Wukong as well going to go down here doing what he can. Malmortis will only keep him alive for so long. Enrique with the triple kill. And all the time, Nautilus just slowly pushing himself in towards that mid lane and trying to get onto the inhibitor turret. That is a 3-0 in the favor of the Da Vinci Load, though. And the first inhibitor is more than likely to fall here for Serious Series. Auto attack slowly going away. The amount of pushing they have as well on the Da Vinci Load is incredible.
They're definitely not lacking it at all. Especially with the introduction of the Sirat portal coming in on Nautilus. And it looks like Gragas is going to build one as well, if I had to guess. Though that could be Abyssal Scepter based on his build. Oh,
wow,
good Bard ult.
Fantastic Bard ultimate right now. This man, the knockup comes in the final spark. Wow, Yasuo Ono doing so much damage and Bard picking up a kill as well. That is a 2-for-0 and they managed to save the turret. That was a fantastic setup from Shady Stabber there.
Absolutely. The Serious Series showing they're not quite out just yet. Can't be counted out.
Absolutely not. That was a great pickup. And actually, 2 members down for a significant amount of time. Nautilus pretty low. It would be a risky Baron.
Oh, they're pinging Vayne. They might be coming in.
This could be dangerous, and here comes Corki as well. He's doing so much damage. Oh my goodness, that Thunderlords. And Sylvis picking it up with that cheeky Zephyr. Picking up the kill, that finishes it off, but they might be a wraparound here. Nautilus TPing back into the Baron pit, actually, Dredge line does miss, but they do not have very much damage here. Lux is not there, and Joker just died on that Vayne, so they're just kind of hightailing it out of there with Corki. That's a lot of damage. Corki following the Bard, looks like, ooh, Bard in a bad position. Will he be able to disengage? Does get the slow on the Corki, but it will not be enough. Valkyrie in, does not quite land the flash over the wall.
Oh, what a brilliant hook.
Dredge line from Armored Bear's Rule. Picking up the Bard.
Knew exactly where Bard was wanting to retreat at, and launched that Dredge line in just in time to go fishing, apparently.
Very, very nice. And the Da Vinci Load looks to be posturing for Baron. Quest and KO calls it, and they're on it right now. And Quest and KO, 7-3-13.
There is a ward there, but did they not see it? Oh,
I don't know. And oh, actually, they're just baiting. Jarvan does get caught out by the dredge line, as well as the knock-up coming in. The flash again to re-engage. He tries to do what he can with the cancel. And Vayne actually being so aggressive right now. That's a very dangerous situation to me. Baron is falling very slowly, but it will not be enough. 2 people hopping over. Double kill for Morning Bacon. 12, 4, and 12 on that Quirky. And Janna just barely keeping herself alive on that Baron. Very, very scary situation for her.
using her own body to try and keep the Baron from
Oh! Oh, she didn't steal it, but she does pick up the Gragas.
a valiant attempt by Lux.
I saw the final spark and I saw like where the Baron thing pops up, so I was about to. Still a very nice pickup on Quest and KO. That was some nice goal going in her favor, but not able to quite steal the Baron.
Which is too bad. I was hoping we could see another Baron steal, because it seems like we see at least one Baron steal every week so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And things slowing down once again. Enrique getting very, very big, finishing his Mirror Mana Iceborne Gauntlet. But this Corki is so scary right now. He has the Trinity Forest, the Infinity Edge, and another BF Sword. What do Serious Series need to do right now?
They need more vision control to
They
basically
need to get this kill in the top lane, actually. Corki being so aggressive, and Vayne and Bard, the combined pair, while dropping very low, does manage to pick up the kill.
They definitely need
Oh!
oh.
Ezreal
Oh!
ultimate does land from all the way mid lane. Enrique with a great shot there. Throws out the smiley face in the chat to add insult to injury, and he does pick up that kill for himself. Sorry, I did not mean to cut you off there.
No, it's not your fault, it's their fault, clearly.
Vayne in a very bad
Enrique being
position.
once again very aggressive, but Vayne might be able to get away.
Oh, Smite comes out, and the last Mystic shot, very nicely done from Enrique there. And that's one thing I've noticed about Dejoka this game. He had a fantastic landing phase, but he's just been overextending a lot and getting caught out, which is never a good thing to do when you're a Vayne.
Series, their biggest flaw right now is that they don't have enough vision. So there have been multiple times where they keep getting caught out by ganks and roams.
And the Baron push is commencing right now. Lux being forced to flash away. The turret drops, but they do actually catch Enrique in that Bard ultimate as well as Jarvan. First Nexus turret of the game falls. The siege will continue from the Da Vinci load. And things are progressing quite nicely for them. 24 minutes into the game, they have a K-Gold lead. The dredge line actually connects with the turret. That is not where you want to go. And the final turret getting smacked down right now by the Da Vinci load. This is the last stand for Serious Series. The dredge line, great knock up right there. So much damage going on Jarvan. Cataclysm does not lie. Final Spark does actually manage to pick up one, but Corki is doing way too much damage right now. Enrique, great Cosmic Binding there will not be enough. Vayne does fall in the end. The inhibitor turret, or the Nexus, pardon me, is open. The explosive barrel. They're fighting everyone on the summoning stone, and Enrique doing what he can. He's keeping them at bay. The Nexus is falling slowly, a flash away from the light binding.
He tried so hard to pick up Lux.
So hard. He does fall in the end, but Corki is smacking away. They are quite low. They might be able to save this, but it will not be enough, ladies and gentlemen. The Da Vinci load will be moving on to the semifinals with a victory over Serious Series. GG, well played to both teams. Serious Series showed us a very good game in their first game and our first game of the night, but the Da Vinci load showing a commanding win even after a little bit of a shaky early going and showing us why they are our champions 3 weeks running. Congratulations to them, and we will get you guys a bracket update now to see where things are headed. Alright, let us take a look. Reverie Esports. So we will have the Da Vinci load facing off against 420 Help Me in our first semifinal, and then Longsword versus Broken Meta X will be placing in the second semifinal. Broken Meta X taking out Team 4 Believe, and Longsword, I was told Processions forfeited, so they got the free win into the semifinals, and 420 Help Me beating Korean Dog Best Dog. So I believe that will be our next game of the night.
Absolutely, it's the I believe we saw 420 Help Me last week, I want to say. If I can remember, look at their names and remember. I recognize the team name, but I don't recognize any of these players. I'd have to look at the last week's bracket to see if it's the same.
They have a tall task in front of them. Anyone that runs up against the Da Vinci load, a very, very tall task in front of them. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will get into the game as soon as we can. And once again, this is the Reverie Esports League of Legends Open number 36. I am Koleg, and on me, my partner in crime, as always, is Effect. And a big shout out to our sponsors, Vibi, Battlefly, and LOL History App. Please give them a check out and give them a follow on Twitter, a like on Facebook, and let them know that you appreciate them for supporting esports and especially Reverie Esports because we know we appreciate it. So a big thank you to all those guys as well. Moving on to the semifinals. Make a little tweet here, pardon me. Whoops. .tv/Reverie Esports. Perfect. Hope everyone's having a fine night, enjoying the games as much as we are, because I know they have been exciting. There's something in my eye, pardon me for.
I mean, I was hoping there. Honestly, I was hoping there would be an upset because it's always nice to see the underdog coming through.
Always very exciting, yes.
And it looked like they had it at first, but they couldn't keep up. I don't know if they couldn't keep up their pressure or if the Da Vinci Load realized that, man, we're making mistakes. We need to take a step back here and have a look and see what we're doing wrong.
Yeah, Serious Series had an incredible first couple minutes of the game, taking a
They
decent
opened up
lead.
very strongly, going 0-4 and very quickly, but the Da Vinci Load eventually deciding that they're not going to have any more of that. They kind of woke up after that. But even despite that, it was a little bit of back and forth there for a little bit.
Absolutely.
Da Vinci Load had the gold lead for most of the game after those first few minutes, but they kept getting little fights here and there where it looked like the opportunity for Serious Series to come back existed.
Yeah, and we saw some really good team fights, and there was definitely the potential from Serious Series to bring that out with their team fight comp, but it was you said it near the end of the game. Their lack of vision was something that was very, very dangerous for them, and something they really couldn't control, which gave the Da Vinci Load a lot of freedom over the map and allowed them to make those plays. Perfect. All right, I am in the lobby right now. Let me see if they can invite you. We are just. Can I invite you to the lobby is a question.
Enrique just got me.
Enrique is the absolute man, so we are just waiting on one more member. So once again, this will be the Da Vinci Load on as Team 1, and we'll have 420 help me. Team 420 help me on the purple side. And this looks like it is going to be a very high tier game as well. Last player hopping in here. This is a very, very good game. I'll let them know the casters are ready.
Let me go ahead and take a look at last week's bracket so I can see how they did.
Absolutely. When the casters are ready, hopefully it is 420 help me. It's one of the things, like, I gotta keep changing team names. I like when we follow one team and we usually follow the Da Vinci Load. And it's nice so I always have one team and I can learn their players' names and then it's switched over and we get on the way. We get on the way to learning those guys. So we got Evox, 420, HM, Beer Pong, Hugh, Juanez, Linux, and Vellum on the side of 420 help me.
It was, last week they had 420 help me. Did it play against, the reason I recognize their player names is because we didn't watch them play. It was,
yep.
But they did play and beat Broken Meta last week, and they ended up making it to the round of 3, which wasn't quite the semifinals. It was the quarterfinals, I believe.
Okay. And we are actually into the champion select, ladies and gentlemen. Nidalee, Poppy getting banned out instantly. Graves, these guys have done their homework. They know what's going on. Boom, boom, boom. First 3, a little bit slower time on the second one now. From the side of 420, help me. And taking their time, and as they should, we know that the Da Vinci Load is an incredibly strong and potent team. Yep. Volibear being banned again. Kog'Maw.
Lots of Kog'Maw's not too unexpected despite some recent changes. Nidalee and Volibear. Not so sure about Nidalee. Do they have a Nidalee player? I'd have to look again.
Well,
without Snowstorm,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe from past tournaments they thought Snowstorm, but he wasn't in the lobby. Nidalee still, you know what? Not a terrible ban. Very strong jungler.
Absolutely
Nautilus.
not. Still a really strong champion. Nautilus being banned out, not a surprise. Nautilus
I
is just so ridiculous.
Armorsbury rules play that fantastically last game, but it does leave open Soraka, and that seems to be what the Da Vinci load is hovering right now.
No,
Or the Janna. The
they've
Janna was very good last game.
they definitely have not had a bad showing of Janna in any of their games I've seen.
Hmm
And
Very,
Janna
very
is
strong.
locked in.
Interesting first pick, though, and then the Soraka being hovered over by 420. Oh, pardon me.
It's definitely
my
not
nose
bad
quick.
for them. The support for already being picked up by the Da Vinci load, so it lets them pick a support without having to worry about what else is being picked.
Ooh, Sejuani. Interesting choice for the
She
jungle.
just get buffed, so
Mm.
maybe I haven't seen her played yet, so maybe she's a lot stronger now. I'd have to look again at the buffs to see exactly what they were.
Always very potent with that ultimate, too. As long as it lands, it can be teamfight changing. Actually, the Alistair picked up instead of the Soraka that they're hovering over. I like that. Alistair, a very popular support these days. Shockingly, Enrique hovering that as real.
Probably, from what I can guess, it seems to be his favorite champion, or at least the one he has tons of success on. If he can't get access to it, he goes with Lucian.
Hmm And very, very plays a fantastic Ezreal, and we know that. Not a surprising pick, and Morgana actually being hovered on the side of the Da Vinci load. Seeing that in the mid lane would be very interesting.
Okay, so these buffs on Sejuani aren't enough to. I wouldn't think it would be enough to make her like super OP, but maybe they just have a Sejuani player on their team who just loves that champion. I'd have to look again. Corki being locked in, so this is basically we're looking at almost the same comp so far. We'll have to see what they replace for Nautilus.
No, Nautilus. So yeah, so far the first three picks the exact same what they ran last game, and why not? They had a fantastic game, so they may as well.
Absolutely.
Callista being hovered over, very, very strong with Alistair in the bot lane. That would be a very good pick.
Calista obviously having that mobility and being very annoying to deal with. We're seeing another Lux, third Lux in a row. From three
I'm
different
liking all
teams.
the Luxes. I'm liking the Luxes. Looks to be. Oh, Victor.
Disappointing. He changed
You
to
know what? I
Victor.
really like the Victor pick as well, though. I
Victor
think it
definitely
fits
isn't
with their
bad.
team.
We see Victor almost every week. He's always been very strong with lots of utility and damage at the same time.
Very, very strong pick, and I would also like to see the Callista. I think that would be a good pick as well. Their team is looking quite scary, and actually the teleport being picked up on their Victors, so they might be running a double TP comp, which would be interesting.
We'll have to see if they switch champions with their top lane pick, who has not been locked in yet. So far, Twitchula taking their time on this last pick to see what they want to do.
What else did they run last game?
They ran
had
Gragas and Nautilus, with
Right.
Nautilus being banned out, Udyr being locked in. That was pretty quick. So
Quest and KO played a fantastic Gragas, but I guess they were going for the Udyr instead, wanted to change it up a little bit. Udyr very, very strong in these recent patches, so good pickup by them. And Malphite, that's one champion who hadn't been banned out yet.
Malphite was banned last game, so we didn't see it, but we get to see it this game. So it'll be a little interesting. Their comp's a little less stable than it was last time, I think.
Mhm.
Because they had the ability to basically engage, disengage, and poke all at once with their champion picks. But now they have their disengage is a little weaker without Gragas, and I feel like their engage is a little weaker also, despite having Malphite, whose engage is amazing.
Mhm.
We'll have to see how they try to play with Udyr, like if they try to split push and use the Malphite to engage on any moments of weakness they pick up on.
And actually, I just noticed Enrique switched up his summoner spells to Cleanse and Ghost, which is an interesting combination.
Surely he'll switch back. That would be.
I can understand the Cleanse because there's a lot of CC coming from the side of 420 Help Me.
That is true, but Ghost
But
I'm not so
Ghost,
sure about.
yeah. And Gangplank being locked in. First time I've seen him since the nerf patch, but he will be playing the top lane by 420 Help Me. How are these lanes matching up right now, Effect?
Probably top lane's going to go to. Once again, we're ignoring rank here and names. Gangplank probably has the advantage on Malphite's early game. And he does scale very well into late game with his damage, even despite the nerfs. But Malphite's ability to engage has always just been top tier. Because his ult is fast, it does a lot of damage. knocks up a lot of people at once, assuming you can hit them with it. Um, Looking at the mid lane, probably Victor if I had to say. Um, Victor's, I'm not sure how well the Corki matchup stacks up to him, but I'd probably give it to Victor. Lots of AoE damage, the ability to stay safe with the poke and wave clear. Bot lane, bot lane's probably gonna be. Well, that's hard. Both of them have very different strengths.
Hmm.
Um,
Which can be, if used properly and exploited properly, can be very, very beneficial to either of them.
I'd probably say that Janna will be able to keep, if as long as Janna can keep Alistair off of them to prevent knockups. I think they have a good shot. But if they let Callista stack up too many spears all at once on one target, that could be bad news.
The Ren damage could be a lot, absolutely. Um,
Jungle wise,
which
it depends on who overextends the most. But I feel like Sejuani has stronger ganks overall,
mhm.
especially once she hits level 6 and he gets the Glacial Prism.
So, just taking a quick look at these teams, which comp do you like better?
Honestly, I do like the comp coming out from 420 Help Me just a
Mhm.
little bit more. Um, I do. I mean, I'm not sure how, despite Udyr's strength, I'm not sure how strong he is outside of solo queue. He doesn't really fit anywhere into this comp, as far as I can tell. Um, he can't engage as well as some other champions. He can't disengage as well. He's just there to basically kind of maybe snowball, because
Mhm.
he is a very strong snowballing champion. But it comes to late game, I'm not sure where he is gonna do other than maybe split pushing, maybe trying to catch out anyone who falls back or is out of position.
And the 420 helmet should be able to kite back fairly well, especially with the mobility of Callista and the Gangplank barrels and the knockups from, from Alistair and the gravity field from Victor. So they might be able to get Nautilus out of there, but they're gonna need the Da Vinci Load's gonna need the hard engage to land from Malphite to really get their fights going for them.
And it's gonna be kind of difficult because 420 Help Me has a lot of very strong engage in CC. They have the Sejuani, they have the Alistair, they have the Victor gravity field, and they have Gangplank's ultimate to basically just do a big AoE slow, which lets them follow up with all the aforementioned CC that is on their team.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, especially about the Gangplank Ultimate. I wasn't even thinking of using that as a tool in such a way, but that offers a lot of mobility for them. But ladies and gentlemen, we are 30 seconds away from the start of this game. This is semi-final number 1 of the Reverie Esports League of Legends Open Tournament Series number 36. Our blue team will be the reigning champions, the Da Vinci Load, and trying to take them out is 420 Help Me. Morning Bacon on that Corky Enrique on Ezreal, Silvio on that Janna, Armored Bear's Rule playing Malphite, Quest and KO on the Udyr, and Eviox on the other side playing the, oh my goodness, the Sejuani. And we are getting in the game right now, and we'll run down the rest of them. But this is the semifinal, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're enjoying your time here, and we are just getting into the game. Hopefully no crash this time for you, James.
Hopefully, but following the recent trend, it's probably going to crash. At least I can reconnect, because that would be really awkward if I couldn't.
If I was a gambling man, I would unfortunately bet on a crash.
At least it's reconnected without any issues. But
Very much so.
we'll have to figure out why it's crashing later if
Yeah.
it continues this trend.
Odd bug.
We get to see their picks in
You know what?
Keystone Masteries, and oh, there it goes. There's the crash.
I was gonna say, for like as great as the Da Vinci Load is, they never win the skin battles. Never win the skin battles, in my opinion. I like Marauder Alistair. It's quite nice. Toy Soldier Gangplank. I am in the game, ladies and gentlemen, so I will do what I can if there's any action early to describe it for everyone. But we are in the game right now. Teams are still on the summoner platforms.
And I'm in. I made it.
You always get back in a timely manner, and it's all good. They are released from the gates, and it looks like everyone will be sticking as 5, and once again, heading towards the Bot River. We've been seeing that a lot today. Apologize as I...
Really seeing that ping on that one bush. Maybe they're wanting to catch somebody out, or they just want to ward it. I'm not sure yet. Looks like they're just going to ward up, play safe.
And actually really safe wards coming out from the side of 420 Help Me in their own jungle, looking to possibly catch Quest and KO in their jungle. But it does not look like anything else is going to be able to come out of the situation.
No, everyone's just playing safely. They don't want to. Nobody wants to fight. They just want to play back, relax.
No one wants to overcommit too much. The blood oath being sworn from Calliston to Alistair right now. No big surprise there. Very, very good combo, especially once Fates calls in and can throw Alistair into the fight. Minions spawning, and it looks like everyone is going to have a standard start. But the Da Vinci load did actually manage to get a very deep ward onto the blue buff of 420 Help Me, so they'll know exactly what's going on. Junglers once again starting on the same sides. Quest and KO seems to be really favoring the bottom lane start of red buff and the golems compared to the Gromp and blue buff. Everything very, very standard as we
A nice strong
started
leash.
here.
Is he gonna steal it?
Oh, please, that tornado. Oh, my God, he stole it!
That Janna managed to basically, that ward was perfect, and it let them steal the Gromp, giving Janna a little free XP, and she's already level 2.
That was incredible. That ward, I thought it was like, oh yeah, they'll know like he's starting there. But wow, that was way more impactful than I thought it would be. In that bot lane, if they need any more of an advantage, we saw them get a little behind last game, but they managed to rebound. But now they have a huge advantage. And wow, that is terrible for Sejuani just now getting that level 2 and finishing your buff, and Udyr already on his way to his 3rd camp. And damage in the top lane. Train blows back and forth, just slapping each other. The parlay comes out. And that lane looks to just be a farm fest.
Gangplank's actually doing quite a bit of damage using Grasty and dying together with his parlay.
Doing a lot of work actually onto it. Malphite still has a ton of mana. It's going to be a battle of who runs out of mana first there. And poor Sejuani, I feel so terrible for her after that steal. That was a fantastic play by Sylve there though. Great work. Mid lane, things are pretty even. CS dead center, levels dead center. And actually Gangplank getting very, very aggressive. They're fighting in that top push right now. Another parlay comes out. Nothing will come of it. Those corruption potions really ticking. But here comes Quest and KO. And oh, Gangplank getting so aggressive. This could be very bad. He just ate his oranges too. That's on cooldown for another 19 seconds. In comes Udyr right now. The gank is coming out. Will the bear form stun land? It does indeed, and there's a lot of damage coming out. Flash immediately from Vellum, and that will be all she wrote for that gank. Malphite still incredibly low, and good work there by Quest and KO to relieve some pressure on his top lane. But Vellum still looks to be in a large control of that lane. Bot lane, that level disparity, not really doing too much right now. The Da Vinci load pushing in, but CS is actually in the favor slightly of 420 Help Me. Yeah. So is
a very good job, despite the fact that they were behind the level. They're staying very safe and keeping up in CS. Matter of fact, staying ahead.
And actually, Malphite didn't end up backing. He stayed, which is a very interesting decision, but he didn't want to get too far behind, I guess. Still taking that level advantage, and Udyr wrapping around again, sitting in that tri-bush top, but with his laner back, and he's just going to leave, go do something else, and Gangplank is going to farm away happily. Where does the first big play come for these teams?
It's probably going to need to be, I'm thinking a gank on the bottom lane. That's
Okay.
because Sejuani's already down there.
Yeah.
The team from Division, they're being really aggressive in how far forward they're playing. If Alistair can get a strong knock-up, Sejuani can basically come in and say hello.
Ooh, and Enrique actually getting incredibly low. The Ignite comes out as well. He Arcane shifts away. Shield popped as well, and he should be just fine, but quite low. He was in a very precarious location right by that wall. It could have been very bad if capitalized on there.
That's Enrique for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
No change in playstyle there.
No regard for his own safety, but the man gets results. Mid lane could not be more even. 2 CS difference right now. Top lane actually a little bit of a 10 CS early lead going on in the favor of Elm on that Gangplank. And actually mid lane, Victor, you were talking about how Victor would probably have a very easy, not so much easy, but like a better time in the matchup, and seems to be the case, leading ahead in health right now. And game seems to be taking a bit of a leisurely pace compared to the ones we've seen. And wow, actually, Corky, Morning Bacon on that Corky getting bursted down quite low from Victor. Jonna here just to make sure things are doing well. Vision fairly standard across the board for everyone, and everyone is just a happy camper farming up.
Jana
Jonna
saying
actually
hi.
getting the tornado and a couple love taps on, and in the top lane, nothing too much going on. The barrel's being thrown down. Gangplank doing what he can. Ooh, does not actually time that auto properly, but it happens.
A little bit of
And
mistiming there.
Everyone is content with what they're doing so far, and a small 400k.
Oh, but actually in the mid lane, Quest and KO came in to get the bear mode stun, and this could very well be our first blood. Juanrez doing what he can, and he will actually drop first blood going in the favor of the Da Vinci load. A very well organized gank between Quest, KO, and Sylv on that Jana.
Victor definitely not playing safe enough. Decides he doesn't need to flash there. He's just going to go ahead and give up. Probably would have died anyways. There's no way he could have really gotten out of that situation as it stands.
So a very smart play to just keep his flash for when it might actually save him or buy him a kill or something. Looks like Quest and KO will be moving into the bot lane. Tornado lands, but not too
Alistair
much.
tries to do the combo, but it looks like he just mistimed how his skills a little bit. Didn't get the headbutt off in time.
You can buffer it now, can't you? I believe they changed that in a recent patch.
Maybe. I'd have to look again.
Oh, actually, in the top lane, a ton of damage coming down on Malphite, and he's forced to Unstoppable Force.
That was unfortunate use of the word force there, but Unstoppable Force is out of it. The Gangplank also came out as well, but Gangplank taking a very commanding lead in this top lane. Sejuani really hasn't been doing too much. You can't really blame her. The tornado steal of the early game really affected her jungle. She's managed to keep up in farm and levels, though, but not quite have the impact that Quest and KO has had on that Udyr.
Absolutely. And despite the fact that she did lose her early grump, she did clear the jungle still, right? She didn't need to back early or anything, as far as I could tell.
Oh. No, she did manage a good job to get that blue buff being passed over to Victor.
Enrique being aggressive as always in the bot lane.
And things are all well on the Rift right now. The Da Vinci load with a slight 600 gold lead early on in the game, thank you to the first blood that was in the mid lane, and a unique first blood. You don't expect your mid laner to die to the enemy's jungle and the support at like 4 minutes into the game.
It's not the most common occurrence for sure.
But still, actually, that kill was actually very, very big, because at the time, Victor was ahead of Corky, especially just through the lane, so that relieved a lot of pressure for Corky, who we saw Morning Bacon play to extreme effect last game, so things are quiet, things are going well, and honestly, for not being ahead, 420 Help Me is doing quite a good job that heeding the advances of the Da Vinci load and keeping these reigning champions in check.
Absolutely. A little bit of a slap fight going on in the top lane. Gangplank not quite able to get his barrels out the way he wants. And looks like they're not doing too much damage right now as long as Malphite keeps his shield up. But that aggressive undying is actually kind of annoying to deal with, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely, and it was actually very interesting. He went back and picked up a ruby crystal, a cloth armor, and a Doran's ring, interestingly enough. Maybe just give him a little bit of damage in that mana sustain. But looks like Udyr will be on his way up, and this is almost certainly killed. The Unstoppable Force does come out, the smite as well. This is going to be a dive. The Bear Form stun does land. One more auto, and Quest and KO picks up Bellum in that top lane, and a very well organized and executed gank there from the Da Vinci load. Quest and KO, these last two games, showing extreme jungle pressure and really being one of the key factors in the Da Vinci load's success this week.
Absolutely. He's definitely not, as far as I can tell, he's not really any inferior to Snowstorm.
No, absolutely not. He's able to dictate the pace of the game how he wants. But in response to seeing the jungler top lane, immediately 420 Help Me goes onto that dragon. And with the Ren coming out from Kalista, they should be able to clear this very quickly. No wards, this will absolutely be free. The Ren doesn't even smite it. And NP, he said, NP 420 Help Me say, and they pick up the first dragon of the game. And actually, oh wow, the headbutt combo coming in, Alistair, right now, and wow, the Glacial Prism as well. That was a very lucky time. Gangplank ultimate comes out. Oh, the flash fails, unfortunately, from Sylv, and he will drop Linux picking up that kill, and that is a 1-for-0 and a dragon. That was very, very much needed for 420 Help Me. Good play by them. The roaming squad, though, Armored Bears rolling Quest and KO, making their way bottom. Not
Definitely a nice catch. They needed that a little bit extra gold. They need every advantage they can get. They do have that first dragon though, so that'll definitely help a lot.
Very much so, and actually a lot of time being wasted by Malphite going into that bottom jungle, and he misses out on a cannon wave, if not a little bit more than that. So very good, but here comes Udyr, booking his way into bot lane. The bear form comes out. They seem spotted out by the ward, and they should be very safe. Kalista very safe, and actually the knock-up does come in. Where is the headbutt? There it is as well, and actually a TP coming in from Gangplank. This is a very dangerous situation. A double TP as well, actually. Victor getting really aggressive. They need to pick something off of this. They just use so many resources, and actually this is going to be a big fight. This is a big point of contention right now. Prism does come out, and wow, Morning Bacon absolutely destroys Hugh on that Victor, and that was not what they wanted from that double teleport. Great kite there from the Da Vinci load, and to turn back into that 2-for-1 off the double TPs. Good work. As things settle back down, you see the slightest of gold leads, 800 in the favor of the Da Vinci load. And after that failed TP double gank bot, 420 help me now on the back foot. Their top turret taking a lot of damage. Gangplank finally getting back up there. CS totals fairly even across the board. Top literally dead even. Slight advantage in the favor of
Gangplank really wants those barrels down, but he just can't time them better than Armor Bears can. So Armor Bears has basically denied a ton of barrels.
And that's, you know what, that's not an insignificant amount of gold. But in the bot lane, the pulverize and the headbutt as well, the teleport coming in, a lot of damage going down into Janna, but they immensely caught out.
Surprise Malphite.
Coming in right now. He does have the unstoppable force. This could be a very dangerous situation. And oh, very nice timing. Does manage to get both in. And Enrique is here as well now. They do knock him back and get him the knockup, but this is very dangerous. Can Enrique? And wow, coming in from the back as well is Udyr, and they pick up a nice 2-for-0. And that is one thing that really sets the Da Vinci load above other people, is their team play across the map is fantastic. What looked to be a very scary situation for Jan ended up being a 2-for-0 in the favor of the Da Vinci load. But Vellum actually, from across the map, picks up a kill. Rift Herald drops, Victor drops, and there is action all over the map right now. That Rift Herald actually should allow for Vellum to get that top lane turret down, and despite being 6 kills up, the Da Vinci load only up about 1k gold right now, but really good movement and rotations by the Da Vinci loader, giving them this lead right now.
Initially going to go and steal the blue buff away from 420.
Getting it onto Enrique so he can hopefully stack the Tear of the Goddess a little bit earlier. No significant turret damage mid for, pardon me, 420 help me's mid turret about half, and then about half in the top lane for the Da Vinci load's turret as well. So Da Vinci load looks to be able to take one of these turrets relatively soon, either mid or top, but
taking their time, not in a hurry it looks like.
Showing great respect to their opponents who have been playing quite well.
They're definitely not being as reckless as they were in the last game. There's definitely some reckless there. They're not afraid to dive, but it looks like everything is so far calculated fairly well.
Absolutely. Definitely taking their time. There is the barrels actually finally getting them.
But Malphite still with the shield didn't take almost any damage.
With the exception of that bot lane double TP where things went terribly wrong for 420 Healthy, we really haven't seen like a full-on team engagement. And do you think we're going to be seeing one with the next dragon spawn, or?
Maybe not. It depends on where 420 feels like their ability to win a team fight's at. They're definitely not out of this game, but they need to basically not get caught up by Udyr. He's had so much pressure on this whole map. He's ganked every lane so far. He's gotten kills in every lane.
Really being the one to dictate the whole pace of the game, and even the enemy jungler. But actually, mid lane right now, a lot of damage coming down onto Hugh. The tornado comes in, and a very nice gank again. Sylv has roamed mid twice and picked up 2 kills, doing a great job on that Janna. And Corki getting farther and farther ahead. 0-4-1, unfortunately, for
and there's
Hugh
another dive in the top lane.
And wow, actually a ton of damage going in the top lane. Oranges does manage to get the flash away. Malphite tanking this turret, but that is not going to be enough. Vellum will go down, Quest and KO picks up another kill, and they should be able to get this top turret as well. That's a hard thing to deal with, those 2 tanky champions diving you like that. And once again, good overall map pressure.
Oh, there's a good fight in bot lane.
And a bot lane as well, actually. A huge fight going on. Enrique very low. The Ren does land. A ton of damage going out on Enrique, and a double kill in the favor of Link. That was a great play by them. What I can assume started off from a nice headbutt pulverize combo as well. Corki showing his face, and this will be maybe the first time we actually see Sejuani in the midst of something. Does get the landing on the Corki. They know where he is. Does flash over the wall. Is there going to be a pursuit? And it does not look like there's going to be. And before all that action started off, that was one thing I was going to mention. Like, we have seen Quest and KO on that Udyr do so much work just around the map, but we really haven't seen too much from Eviox on the on that Sejuani gank-wise. Even with her Glacial Prison, we really haven't seen too much pressure being asserted by him. But it looks like they're just going to happily take their second dragon into the game, and this is actually a really big pickup for them.
Absolutely. Dragon is definitely, since they changed the buffs to be a little bit different, the third dragon buff now being actually kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Udyr tries to go for the steal, but doesn't quite make it.
And he's in a very bad situation. The Gangplank ult comes down. The Gangplank is teleporting in as well. Corki, so aggressive on the engage, gets instantly knocked up, trying to blow up Kalista, but Link does manage to slay him. And Udyr now diving in, getting onto Victor. It will not be enough. Everyone's so low, and Reek does actually manage to pick up Link, and this is going all terribly wrong. Malphite as well. This will be a 4-for-1 in the favor of the Da Vinci load. It started out to be a good fight, but it might not be over yet. Enrique wants blood. He is on Vellum right now. Vellum one more auto away, gonna do what he can. Malphite comes in, throws out the seismic shard, and that is a 5-for-1 in the favor of the Da Vinci load. Mid turret will be falling, and that was an interesting team fight because it really spread out over that wall in between, separating the jungle from the mid river. So it was a little bit all over, and great work by the Da Vinci load to pick that fight up. What started out looking pretty good for 420 Help Me was not quite enough, even with the initial pick.
I felt like they rushed it a little bit. I'm not sure that was the engage they really wanted, because they're trying to catch Udyr, who is already difficult to kill, just because he's ridiculously fast. Like, he walked, like Victor laid down his gravity field, and he just burst danced around it.
Very much so. And yeah, that Udyr is so fast right now, and wow, actually, great ward gonna lead to a pick off here. 420 Beer Pong possibly, as well as Link. He drops Armored's Bear Rules on a rampage, showing how potent that Malphite is. Enrique does pick up Beer Pong. Another good 2 pickups off a deep ward. Fantastic work there from the Da Vinci load, and they are looking to take a commanding lead right now. 15-5, bottom turret going to fall as well. 6.6k gold lead right now in the favor of the Da Vinci load, and they are cruising right now. After what was a surprisingly slow start from them and surprisingly even, things seem to work out really well for them. And Enrique getting so aggressive, taking a lot of damage, but
giving what he takes.
Absolutely. I feel like the Sejuani pick has just not been as impactful as they were hoping for. Quest and KO has been dictating the pace of the game and the jungle so incredibly well, sitting at 4-1-6 right now, and just doing what he can to get his lanes ahead. And 0-1-1. They only have 5 kills, but that kill participation is still not incredibly high for Sejuani.
Absolutely. Sejuani she's tried several times to get, I think, a few ganks here and there, but really has only had a couple of what you could be considered successful ones.
Absolutely.
Like, when I believe the first one I saw was when she caught Jenna. They managed to catch Jenna out when she was warding or trying to kill a ward.
In the bot lane. Yeah, just not quite as potent as they probably hoped. And so what does 420 Help Me need to do right now to get back into this game? Because it looks like the Da Vinci load are giving them a lot of respect and a lot of space. So it does offer up the opportunity if they can catch a slip up. What do they need to do?
Not let Baron go to the Da Vinci load for one. The Rift Herald is going to be picked up by them pretty easily here.
No contention, with Rift Herald only being about 13, 14 seconds from disappearing, so that's a really great late pickup by them.
Absolutely. If they can keep their ward coverage up and avoid being caught out like Sirius was in the previous game, there's definitely the opportunity for them to come back. They need Sejuani to be a little more durable. She's kind of lacking in Ice Crit. Like, she's going for Aegis first.
Okay.
And trying to think what else here. They need Kalista to get more gold.
And a lot of the gold has been focused on her so far. 4 kills and 153 CS. Most, that's 80% of the kills in her favor right now of the team. but still behind Enrique by about 800 just because of all the global gold and all the assists. A lot of damage going down onto Beer Pong right now on that Alistair, but they're looking to re-engage. The Headbutt Pulverize will only hit on the Enrique right there, and a very nice Fates call to pull him out of there very safely. And Vellum in the top lane actually getting dived by Malphite.
Forced to flash away. Malphite, despite his, he had a little weaker early game, but he scaled up with defense. He's got the Iceberg Gauntlet, he's got the Sunfire Cape, so he's doing good amount of damage now, and he's being very tanky.
Absolutely. The top turret will fall, and the Da Vinci load just going to play it cautiously and back on out. And you're mentioning the Udyr split push, especially with the Rift Herald right now. It would not be a shock to see him go to a different lane and push it, but it looks like everyone on the Da Vinci load will be backing and just kind of doing their thing.
They probably don't need to now, because he's got the Iceborne Gauntlet, so he actually has some AoE CC, even if it's just a one of the slow. But he's going to be tanky because of that choice as well.
So actually, Malphite teleported to the ward in the mid-river, and they're going to 2-man Baron, or at least 3-man it with Enrique here. And there's zero vision for 420 Help Me right now, so they might have a suspicion this is going on, but Baron is dropping relatively quickly, so they need to get here and get some vision. Does get spotted out. This is a very scary situation for the Da Vinci load as well, because the well-timed Sejuani ult could really disrupt things. But Corki doing a really good job. And actually, wow, the engage right in, and it hits so many people! Q picks up so low already. Baron down to 1300 HP, and Reek does on a killing spree, and Baron incredibly low. So many flashes over the wall, and this is a fight all over the place. Are they going to try to take the Baron? It's down to 300 right now. The knockup does come in, and Reek does secure the Baron. And this is a 4 for 3 in the favor so far of the Da Vinci load, and about to be a 5 for 3 in the favor of the Da Vinci load.
A valiant attempt to steal that Baron, but they couldn't quite get it. Probably went in a little early, though they were Sejuani was getting poked out quite a bit there by the Malphite. And
the Glacial Prison landed on a lot of members, but they just didn't quite have the follow-up.
But didn't quite have the damage they needed to basically get in there and grab the Baron.
And now this mid-inhibitor turret dropping very quickly, and that was almost the ideal situation for 420 Help Me right there. Enrique just casually arcane shifting away, and this actually could be a pickup on Armored Blues, or Armored Bear's rule, pardon me, which should be a lot of gold. Sitting at 607, it would be very good. And the Fates call, throw in, very nice, but oh wow! What a shield from Sylvan! They absolutely turned the spider out. This is huge gangplank coming in from the back. They want Malphite so bad, and he will actually drop, but at what cost?
Janna has been so clutch. Oh, she might get Alistair too. Wow.
Oh, does actually manage to pick up the Alistair with the Ignite.
And Gangplank comes in and says hi.
But while they were chasing Dragon drops,
Da Vinci gets their first dragon of the game, 22 minutes.
But Enrique actually dropped in that fight as well.
Oh, he got caught by some CC and died pretty much instantly to Victor Laser.
Which was a really good pickoff for them. So that fight actually ends up being a 2 for 3 in the favor of 420 Help Me. They do lose the dragon, but not as big a deal since, like you mentioned, it was the first dragon for the Da Vinci load. But things are resetting. 9.5k gold lead right now for the Da Vinci load. Baron buff still active on anyone? No, it looks like Baron buff is no longer active on anyone. So, and actually Callista getting really aggressive onto this Udyr, and this could be very close. The Ren does come out. That's a great pickup there on Quest of Chaos. That was
almost fast enough to catch the Callista again, but just not quite.
Link had some fantastic kiting there, finishing up his Runehands and his Blade of the Rune King and doing a lot of work. 6-5-3, 22 to 12 now. Slightly less gold in the favor of the Da Vinci load than as previously stated a few seconds ago. And once again, things will seem to be slowing down. Seems this game goes in very explosive ways. We'll have 2 to 3 minutes of action constantly, and then it'll just go back to farming and farming. But what do the Da Vinci load need to do to close this game out?
They probably just need a group. They have such a strong team fight right now because they're so far ahead. As long as they don't get caught in return by a Sejuani ult followed by a Victor AoE combo, and then obviously the Gangplank AoE.
And actually Malphite initiating with the Unstoppable Force on a Sejuani. A lot of damage coming on a Sejuani, and it will not be enough. Wow, the Glacial Prism actually very nice work when Gangplank ult comes in as well. And woo, very good cutting back, and actually the Alistair comes in the Monsoon as well, but Enrique absolutely destroys Link. He's taking a lot of damage, does get stunned up.
manages to quick silver sash away. Corki comes in, picks up a double kill. Morning Baking doing so much work.
Taking advantage of their gold lead to just push in and take objectives, get caches.
3-0 in the favor of the Da Vinci load, and they are looking to be pushing this in. First inhibitor of the game falls, rotating to the top lane. Udyr and Malphite should be able to just drop tank this, no problem at all. No damage left on the side. Vellum does have a little bit, but not quite as much as needed to get through this. And Reek being very aggressive. He's quite low. That's one parlay. That's a barrel parlay. He needs to be quite scared. But in comes Udyr. Gives the one bear slap and then kind of turns away. And wow, actually really aggressive flashes in. Quest and KO being crazy. Top turret does fall down, but the respawn timers on 420 Help Me are back in, and very nice.
And Reek's
flash
gonna
ball
get caught out
into the headbutt as well. Very nice run to pick up the kill there on Enrique. And maybe
Beer Pong's
overstayed
Alistair
their
play has
welcome.
been really good.
He has been fantastic, doing really well, creating confusion in the fight. Does manage to land the headbutt pulverize combo as well. But the Da Vinci load will get out there relatively unharmed, only losing Enrique and gaining 2 inhibitor turrets.
Definitely a
is
net
zero.
gain there.
And their next target, as we can see from things on the map, looks to be that bottom tier 2. Really doing this slow, methodical, we want to win this game properly. And that's what they
Absolutely.
need to do. Because as far behind as 420 Help Me are, they definitely still have the team fight potential. That little engagement just outside their base, they did a very good job there getting the damage down.
Absolutely. Yeah, basically their best bet here is to take that, to start pushing that bottom lane. There's no Baron up, there's no Dragon up. And sure they could, oh, Udyr gets caught
They're
out.
gonna get a pick on Udyr. Udyr getting caught taking Wolves actually. A lot blown to pick up the kill, but that's still a very nice kill. Baron on 1 minute 50 seconds. And some more gold going on to Callista. She's got a BF sword in addition to her rune ends and her blade.
Malphite getting caught a little bit, but he's just so durable, he just kind of ignores it.
He's going to be absolutely fine. 6-1-10 Armored Bear's rule on that Malphite. And Reek sitting at 7-3-11 doing a lot of work. When we saw a really good game from Morning Bacon on Corki last game, but also sitting at 5-2-7, 206 CS. Doing just as well this game.
Probably better
Pope-
even, I would say.
Especially in the lane.
and
Wow,
there's, like-
actually, he goes very aggressive in the engage. And so much damage coming out. The Unstoppable Force knocks up 4 members. The Glacial Prison will not be enough. Corki with a triple kill, a quadra kill. Go for it. He
And-
needs to get the penta. The slow from the Iceberg Gauntlet lands, and the missile will land. Penta-kill.
That
for
was a
Morning
very
Bacon.
bold play by Corki, using the package to come in and split their team. And the follow-up CC was just amazing. And that is going to be the end of the game. Da Vinci Load, once again, being in the finals of the Reverie Open number 37.
Congratulations to the
This is
Da Vinci Load.
36.
Moving on to the finals. 36. The Da Vinci Load moving on into the finals. Great showing by 420 Help Me, but the Da Vinci Load, great team play across the map. GG to them. And ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to get the finals underway. Let us take an updated look at the bracket for this. And we are just going to be waiting on the winner of Longsword and Broken Meta X. They will be playing the Da Vinci Load in the finals. So once again, congratulations to the Da Vinci Load moving into the finals. Thank you so much to 420 Help Me for coming out. A really good showing for them, getting to the semifinals and just dropping to our champions the previous 3 weeks. GG's to them. And once again, everybody, thank you so much for being with us and watching these games. This is the Reverie Esports League of Legends Open number 36, brought to you by Vibi, Battlefly, and LOL History app. And as soon as we have a result on Longsword and Broken Meta X and the Da Vinci Load in the finals, we will let everyone know.
Very good attempt by 420 Help Me to try and dethrone our current champions, but they had a decent early game, but they just weren't able to quite to keep up with Da Vinci Load's pace, especially like we said during the game, the Sejuani just wasn't able to have as much impact as Udyr was. And that was definitely Udyr basically taking advantage of his strength, his ability to roam around the map and get strong ganks in. I did feel like Sejuani should have had better ganks, but it just felt like she couldn't keep up pace. And I know that she did lose the Gromp early game thanks to Janna's brilliant steal. I just felt like he could have had more impact still, but just wasn't able to have it.
it didn't seem to slow her down as much in the clear time or the levels as we thought. And yeah, the impact just wasn't there when the Udyr was kind of dictating the pace of the game and what was happening. So very good jungle showing there from the Da Vinci load, and once again showing why they are our three-time running champion and sitting in the grand finals again. So Longsword and Broken Meta X. Let me see if I can get an update on their game for everybody. And I am actually going to take this. Udyr had a 1k more damage than Janna. Interesting.
That's just what Udyr does. He doesn't necessarily need to do a lot of damage, though he can. He just needs to basically kind of stun people during a gank.
Janna, you know what? Janna had a crazy game. We saw that first blood was actually a combination of Udyr and Janna in the mid lane at like 4 minutes. I
Absolutely.
who expects a gank from a jungler and a support at 4 minutes in the mid lane? Like I would not have ever seen that coming. So that was a fantastic showing by Janna, and she was very good with her monsoons. And there was that save in the top lane with the flash shield, and great play by them all around. The Da Vinci load very very comfortable on that hero as well. Enrique and Sylv, yes, Sylv have been playing that Jenna Israel bot lane all day. I'm actually going to use this small pause to excuse myself very quickly and run to the washroom.
That is also what I'm going to do.
So we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse us for just 1 second. You're watching the Reverie Esports League of Legends Open number 36.
Okay, I am back. Let me turn on my... There we go. Alrighty. So we are waiting on, let's see if there's an update on the current match.
My apologies, I am back, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully everyone's doing well. The one problem with staying hydrated to keep your voices all good is the side effect of drinking a lot of liquid and really having to pee.
No, I totally know what you mean because I'm currently drinking water.
Yeah, I've 3 Gatorades later and I'm keeping the vocal cords good. And actually, my roommates put a nice little post-it note on my door that said "Quiet broadcast in process." So that was pretty funny. That was cool of them. Very supportive roommates. So yeah, Longsword, Broken Meta X, and Broken Meta X having a fantastic run actually through this tournament so far. See if they'll get another matchup with the Da Vinci load and Longsword. I believe this is the first we've seen of them.
I don't recall the name for sure. Let me see if I recognize any of the players.
Actually having themselves a very impressive run. So we'll see who's able to take it out, but it is a tall, tall task for both teams that is ahead. And they will be facing off against the Da Vinci load.
They'll definitely need to see how Broken Meta tries to deal with the Da Vinci this time. They may have some different players. I think last time they also had a different roster from the first time we saw them.
Hmm.
Looking at their roster now. Yeah, they definitely have a fairly large roster. There's a number of players they could use to switch in and out.
All of various degree and skills, yeah, and that was one thing I noticed about Longsword as well. 11 players on the roster, but I guess we can do a quick rundown of the brackets. So in our first game, we had the Da Vinci Load getting a bye into the second round, and then the first game we witnessed was Serious Series versus Time is RP, which saw Serious Series taking a victory there. 420 Help Me had a bye. Korean Best Dog had a bye, and then on the lower half of the bracket, Processions had a bye as well. Common Sense and Longsword played off in our number 6 match. And oh, actually, we have an update. Broken Meta X taking the victory over Longsword. So congratulations to them, and thank you to Longsword for coming out and supporting us. So we have our finals set, ladies and gentlemen. The Reverie Esports League of Legends Open number 36 finals will be the Da Vinci Load versus Broken Meta X in a best of 3 series, and we will be bringing that to you as soon as possible.
Definitely going to be nice to see if it's going to be a good rematch because this isn't the first time they faced off. Though we might see different players, to be fair.
Yeah, might see different players on the rosters, but we did see them, I know for sure, face off in our first or second game 2 weeks ago. And then I'm not sure if they faced off last week, but
I don't believe they did. Broken Meta ended up being defeated by 420 Help Me.
okay, interesting.
So we'll
So
hopefully get the game code fairly quickly so we can jump into the lobby and hopefully start Champions League as soon as possible.
be a good game regardless. Always a good time to get into the finals. Things are moving along. 9:32 over here on the East Coast. Just gotta change up who is playing. X. Time to finish some essays tonight. Maybe play a little myself. And it should be a fun series though. If one thing we saw when these two teams did play, it was a very aggressive and explosive game. So hopefully we're in for equally as explosive or exciting games. And
It's always nice to see games that where people are playing to fight, and
mhm,
it's so much more exciting to see. We don't want to see any of the really boring 4v0 top lanes or anything like that.
like you see in like the LCS and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And like there's
I,
certain
I get the need to win, but it's not exciting for the viewers to see games like that.
and I understand like there's the strategic aspect to it, which is something you can appreciate on the side, like which is really cool. But yeah, everyone likes to see lots of team fights, lots of action. Sorry, excuse me. Pardon me, but yeah, no, exactly what you mean. Like that, I'm very unimpressed, I want to say, with the meta that is the 4-0 tower takes and that kind of stuff. Like, and I really don't see what the maybe because I don't understand it at quite the level like the LCS players do, but I really don't see what the big advantages of trading the turret is. You don't get any huge gold advantage or an experience advantage unless you manage to stop the other team. But I don't know. That's why I'm not a professional League of Legends player.
I think it's probably basically you can't stop a tower push without having an equal number of players basically.
Hmm.
So you're gonna if you try to stop them, it's basically just gonna be 4v4 in the top lane, and it's just gonna be they're not sure how to deal with that situation. But if they send less players and try to push elsewhere, they're gonna end up pushing slower probably. So they just end up basically splitting off, having they're basically all four laners and a jungler in different lanes and all pushing together at the same time. And there's no fight that way. It's just safer.
Interesting.
Safety is basically the biggest thing because whoever screws up first is almost the person who's most likely to lose the team wise.
That makes sense.
So if they can basically safely play up to the mid game and then start team fighting from there, looking for the safest fights they can, that's where we start seeing strategies that basically have the safest outcomes possible with
Okay.
the least amount of variability.
Which I
That's how
guess
I see it from my perspective. I could be wrong. Maybe there's something else I'm not seeing here.
that makes a certain amount of sense too, because especially when you're playing at that level, you really are playing to win. You want to keep your spot in the LCS and that assured salary. Although it seems like a lot of the higher level challenger teams now have assured salaries from venture capitalists as well. But the LCS is definitely the safest career path for people who want to play League of Legends professionally. So it makes sense. That does absolutely make sense.
And I mean, you can't blame them for that because
Nope.
League of Legends is probably one of the, as far as I know, it's the only professional league that has a salary for their players. Where other games like Dota and not Call of Duty, but
Counter-Strike?
maybe Call of Duty, Counter Strike,
Yep.
Hearthstone. Basically, you get money for winning or doing really well. So if you're
Yeah.
not doing really well, you're gonna be struggling financially at least.
Absolutely. It's especially I can talk like more about the Counter-Strike scene than most other scenes, and you have on your like major teams, you have like your salaries paid out by the teams, but you're not getting money from like Valve or ESL who run the tournaments or anything like that. You're not getting an assured salary from them. Like you said, it's all about results. All right.
We are in the lobby. People asking if we're ready. We're ready at least. As
We
far
are
as I can tell.
absolutely ready for, ladies and gentlemen, this is the grand finals. We got Broken Meta X. Congratulations to them for making it this far. And once again, we're seeing the Da Vinci load. Can they take a month straight of the Reverie Esports Open and the riot points that come with it? We will find out. We are now in Champ Select, and things are going to be heating up right now. Blue team is once again the Da Vinci Load, and purple team will be Broken Meta X, and this is a best of 3 for all of those who are wondering.
Alrighty, Poppy being banned out pretty quickly by the Da Vinci load. Um, I'm guessing that our opposing team here has a Poppy player. The Poppy is not the most uncommon pick in the world. We have seen it several times in the past tournaments and today even. Let's see here.
Soraka banned as well. Nidalee being banned out. We are not seeing any
Oh, Da Vinci load is banning Nidalee this time.
no oh geez. No Drakendary Cow either, so that's an interesting if it was still a targeted ban. I remember iPon from previous weeks.
I do recognize his name, yes. Soraka being banned out again against the Da Vinci load, but I haven't seen them play Soraka even when it's available. Like, it was available last game, but they went with
They went with
Janus
Janna
instead.
instead. And
Yeah.
actually, the Lucian ban coming out, and Enrique we know does play that when he isn't able to get his Ezreal Fiora ban coming out. So it'll be interesting because they do have first pick. So I wonder if Broken Mad Axe is trying to get them to prioritize the Da Vinci load to prioritize and picking that Ezreal and thus giving them 2 other power picks that they have the opportunity for.
That's definitely a possibility, but we'll have to see what they ban here. They're just kind of taking their time in this last ban.
It's like that whole like, okay, if she told me this, but then meant this, but this person like said this, and like it keeps flipping and flopping. It can just be an endless cycle.
They decided to ban
Udyr
Udyr. Not a terrible idea. Udyr being very strong. Our Armor Bear's having an amazing game on. Or it wasn't Armor Bears. I'm sorry.
was
It's
Quest and
Quest and
KO.
KO. I'm sorry. I got them mixed up. I think Bear because of Udyr.
Yeah, and yeah, there is the Ezreal pickup, and it's Enrique, not Enrique. Enrique. I gotta remember that. He told me Enrique. There we go. Enrique. I gotta
Adding
get
a
that
whole
pounded in
extra
my
syllable.
head. Yeah, Enrique. So they do pick up the Ezreal for Enrique, and Shyvana being instantly locked here on the side of Broken Meta
I don't
X.
think we've seen Shyvana yet in this tournament. She's actually had or basically in these recent patches, had a rise in
Yeah.
her win rate. So obviously being pretty strong right now, at least in terms of solo queue.
Very, very strong. I ran into one of solo queue the other day, and I had not a clue what to do. Needless to say, I lost that game. I was kind of liking the Zed pick. That would have been a lot of dive, but Lux being hovered over, and
That's
I'm a huge proponent of Lux.
Lux
Good pick.
being this would be the. We almost saw her last game, but they did switch to Victor. Um, but otherwise this will be. We've seen her. Other than that last game, we have seen her in every game this tournament.
Very, very good pick in my opinion. I just think the utility she offers and the amount of damage, and she can either fill like a support role or a mid lane role. I really, really like. Haven't seen Graves yet today, but a very popular pick in the LCS and at high level play in the
That Graves
jungle.
being locked in, so could be a Graves jungle. That's definitely
And
a possibility.
we've seen Quest and KO on more tanky junglers, but it would be interesting to see if that's what he pulls out. And he's clearly played things at a very high and proficient level, so that would be a very good thing for him to play. And a lot of things being hovered over here as well by the Da Vinci load.
Taking their time on what kind of. I'm guessing they're gonna pick a support. But
We
I
have
could be
seen them
wrong.
play the Lulu in previous weeks to a great degree of success, so Lulu also a very strong pick. And it will
Lulu's
be locked
in.
in.
So that could be mid lane, top lane, or even support Lulu. We'll have to
Gives
see what else is picked.
Lulu's a really good flex pick like that, and it gives them a lot of opportunity to pick around it. Nautilus. I'm surprised they didn't pick up the Nautilus, to be honest.
They're probably not picking up Nautilus because Volibear isn't banned.
Okay.
So Armor
Yeah,
Bears might go for that Volibear pick. We'll have to wait and
that
see.
that's the first time we actually haven't seen it banned against the Da Vinci load. So yeah, the Nautilus gets locked in. We know how incredibly strong Nautilus is right now.
Without a doubt, he's just a despite even the damage nerfs to his E, it's just that's just kind of shaving off a little of his power. But he's still got tons of CC. He's still really durable. And Volibear is being hovered over. They might try to steal it.
I kind of really like that actually. They baited them into the false sense of security and not wanting getting Nautilus or Volibear, but we saw Armored Bears Rule play an incredible Malphite, and a Malphite, the synergy that they could have with
Huh?
Lulu is actually really, really good too. So that's a very dangerous situation.
They have a super strong front line on Broken
Hmm.
Meta's side. It's just gonna be. They've got Shyvana, who is probably not the tankiest champion in the game, but is still really durable thanks to a natural Tanko passive. You got Nautilus, you got Volibear, who are just champions who build tanky and they still do quite a bit of damage. So we'll have to see how Da Vinci Lode tries to counter them in this first game.
And ooh, I would really like an Olaf.
We've not seen too much of Olaf, but he's always been pretty strong, especially in top lane where he can basically bully out a lot of champions.
And another Corki for moving bacon.
Or Janus being covered for now.
Oh, so we could see the mid lane Lulu then. The Olaf does get locked in. We'll see some Ragnaroks and tearing through. Actually, I do kind of like that because there's a very heavy CC comp coming from Broken Mad X, so the Ragnarok is going to allow for Armor Bear's Rule to get deep into that back lane. Their back line, pardon me.
You just say, hi guys, I'm just going to run past you and say hi to your carries.
Absolutely. And then Sylph picking up that Janna as well, so that will be a mid lane Lulu we're seeing.
Kind of
And
hovering over some picks. He's hovering over Timo. Don't think we're going to see Timo, honestly, but maybe I'm wrong.
Aatrox?
Now, while I would love to see Aatrox, I don't think it would be a good pick here.
No, I mean, they are a broken meta X, so if they're not going to inform to the meta,
But they're hovering
Corki
over
would be a good
Corki.
one.
Corki's probably the most, and there it is.
Yeah, Corki, very, very strong pick. We've seen Morning Bacon play it to great effect these last couple games, and we know how strong Corki can be, so both
Absolutely.
teams coming at it again with some interesting team comps, but the Da Vinci Load back at it again with the Janna Ezreal, and then mixing everything else up. And Broken Mad X, first time we've seen them on stream today, but bringing out a very CC centric comp that I really like. And
Hoping
honestly,
they have that front line dive in while the Lux and the Corki just sit in the back and just try to deal as much damage as they can. We'll have to see how Da Vinci Lode tries to handle that. They do have the tools to basically speed Olaf up. They got the Janus CC. They have Lulu's slows and her ability to have to basically use her I can't remember what the skill called. Basically, he could speed up Olaf a lot. It's an enormous.
oh,
move speed
the
boost.
Whimsy.
Whimsy, that's it.
Yep. Yeah. You know what? They were hovering over the Sivir on the side of Broken Mad X, and I thought that wasn't a terrible pick either. Because Sivir's alt is a fantastic utility tool,
Without a
especially with a comp with that much CC. They can close the gap. They don't have much gap closers minus, Shyvana's Dragon and the run-in from Volibear, so that could really assure some picks from them.
They probably wanted to have Sivir at first, but then they realized that she doesn't have the tools necessary to deal with Olaf, whereas Corki at least can Valkyrie away.
That's an excellent point. And like Nick Smells says in chat, good luck to all the teams. Happy face. We are 2 minutes and 25 seconds away from getting into the first game in this best of 3 in the Reverie Esports League of Legends number 36 grand finals, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday night. Friday night was last night. Your Saturday night here with us. I am Kolag, and as always, my partner in crime is Effect, and we have Broken Meta X trying to take down the 3-time reigning champions, the Da Vinci Load. Effects, looking at the teams, names aside, teams aside, which comp do you like better?
Top lane's a little bit harder. Olaf's always been really, really strong against melees, but I don't see Volibear too often. So we'll have to see how well. Honestly, I'm probably gonna have to give it to Olaf. He has the Ignite, and he has probably a little more consistent damage output than Volibear, because Volibear is really reliant on getting that chomp or his bite out. Frenzy.
Yes, yeah, I believe it's Frenzy.
Yeah, but it has an Frenzy has an enormous early cooldown. It's like I believe if I remember correctly, it's 18 seconds without any cooldown reduction. So
My gosh.
it's pretty long, despite how, but it does a lot of damage, especially considering it also scales with health. But we'll have to see how well Olaf can deal with that. They both have some decent sustain, though Volibear's is on a passive, and it has a long cooldown. So I probably gonna give that lane to Olaf. Mid lane, we're looking at Lulu versus Lux. That's probably gonna be a fairly even lane. Um, they both have the range, and they both have the ability to just kind of avoid each other.
It's gonna be
Though
a farm off. Are you thinking?
yeah, basically, looking at how well the junglers handle the ganks on that lane, I think Lulu's gonna have an easier time setting up the ganks because he has the silence and has the slow. Jungle wise, Shyvana probably has the advantage here. Especially if Shyvana invades and finds Graves, that could be bad news because Shyvana can stick to targets really well, and Graves does a lot of damage, no doubt, but I'm not sure how well that damage is gonna do if Shyvana finds him, because he's gonna have to be kiting in the jungle the whole time.
Not the easy of task. 1 second left on our delay, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting into the game. I'm really hoping you don't crash this time, but if history does tend to repeat itself, so we will see.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out why. I'll figure out why that's doing over the week.
Yeah, and we'll.
Okay, we're in the loading screen, but we've hit the loading screen every time now, and it still crashes.
Oh no, now mine's slightly frozen. What a disaster. No, it'll all work out okay. Thank you so much once again, ladies and gentlemen, for being here with us. Looks like we are getting everyone connected. And one thing I wanted to point out, you're talking about the Volibear matchup in the top lane as well. And one thing that obviously you don't see the matchup that often, Olaf versus Volibear, but his name's Armored Bear's Rule, so he knows the champion Volibear, so he probably knows how to play against Volibear as well.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, there's the crash. Reconnecting.
And that's actually a support Nautilus. That didn't really clue into me at the time, but yeah, support Nautilus will be interesting. That lane has the potential to be very, very strong with the burst coming out from Corki.
So looking at the bot lane, it depends on how well Janna can prevent Nautilus from getting on top of one of them. If Nautilus can lock up Ezreal or Janna with the CC, then I think Corki and Nautilus will be able to burst them down pretty quickly. But we'll have to see how well they can use the tornadoes and to knock them back and keep them off them. And
We're gonna see any level 1 shenanigans at all. Looks like Broken Meta X is actually splitting up into a 4-1 right now, but they are getting rather aggressive. Get the ward down into that river bush. Get a little bit of vision, and that's one thing that I've noticed teams that are playing against the Da Vinci load is the Da Vinci load has incredible vision control, which can be a bit of a problem for the other teams, and actually being really aggressive as 5 right now.
Oh, they're laying another ward down to possibly try to steal.
I was about to say, are we about to see another Janna Tornado steal? That would be... Broken Meta X is actually pinging that. They're like, there's this possibility is absolutely here. But
what they'll end up doing is they'll probably end up saving Shyvana's smite until that's what I would do in this situation, just so that they can smite it when it's gonna die. That way Janna can't steal it.
see, I don't know when this whole trend started. When like you smite it right away. Because back when I was very like heavily invested in the game and like even played jungle, you'd always save smite till the very end to secure the buff, right?
Yeah, but now basically you get the smite. If it's you only get the buff when you smite the target.
Okay, interesting.
So when it comes to the Gromp, there's the smite right away, and Janna's coming in for the possible steal.
Oh, she's got to do it quick because they are burning it. This tornado needs to go. Oh my!
Oh, she gets it. Oh,
no, she didn't. It was
okay. That was close.
damn close. It was like within like I think tens of HP. That's how close it was. I was watching very closely, but yeah, it was really close.
I was thinking she got it for a second, but nope, just barely, not quite. Oh, and Volibear and Olaf having a little tussle, but
already exchanging blows, and there's the frenzy you were talking about. And yeah, an 18-second cooldown, and that's pretty even trade. But Volibear does still have that passive Um, I can't actually look at the name because if you click on Volibear on the spectator client and go to his passive, it says bad passive. Which his passive is not bad at all. It's actually quite good, giving him that health over time at the start. Luck's taking a lot of damage from Lulu in the mid lane. Everyone just chugging their potions and things looking to be pretty standard. And Reek and Sylv getting very aggressive. Corki getting taken pretty low.
Doing what they do in the bot lane.
Doing what they do best in the bot lane. Graves working away. And actually, Shyvana doing a really long clear and took Raptor's third instead of going right to her red buff, interestingly enough.
She's actually clearing faster than Graves is, which isn't a surprise because Shyvana has always had really, really good clear.
Yeah, absolutely. Her burnout doing a lot of AoE damage on those minions. Top lane actually looking pretty even right now. Potions being chugged. And the Doran shields start for Volibear instead of a corruption potion, say. A little bit.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I always feel like Doran's shield, when they nerfed it, its health total has always been kind of weak.
Mm-hmm. Very different times. Interesting pickup.
Probably armor would have been better here, just buying cloth armor if you wanted something defensive, or even a health crystal to deal with the tree damage.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And I thought there was going to be a little bit of tussle in the top lane, but no. Oh, and actually Killer getting very, very low in that ball lane, eating a Mystic Shot from Enrique. And wow, the Dredge Lane actually connects the stun out as well, but this is a very dangerous proposition because Corki is very, very low. Does actually have
Valkyrie out.
But Enrique is also incredibly low, sitting at, but manages to eat his Total Biscuit of Rejuvenation, and they're going to be A-OK in this lane, taking a quick CS lead, and Morning Bacon getting fairly low. Oh, but Camper as well, sitting on 31 HP. This could be a very dangerous situation for both of them.
What is Rick doing?
Oh, Enrique getting so aggressive, and Shyvana is here as well, and this is bound to be. He does have flash, but saving it. This could be a double kill. The Dredge Line Sun does come in, and wow, a double kill for Ipawn on that Shyvana, taking a big 2-0 lead in the bottom lane right now. Fantastic work by Broken Maddox picking up the first kills. And in the bot lane, we have a little bit of battle coming out of the pass.
Top lane to fight.
The throw back out, and the turret shot. Mumbo picking up a kill on the Armor Bear's rule, and 3 quick kills for Broken Meta X. What is going on right now?
There's a little bit of lots of aggression going across the map, but Enrique kind of got too close to the turret, underestimating Nautilus' ability to lock him up, and Shyvana just comes out of nowhere and kind of devours him. Top lane, Olaf thought he could get the kill onto Volibear, but he was just inside range for Volibear to flip him to the turret to take at least one turret shot there. Not able to finish him off because of just the massive amount of healing that Volibear's passive does.
A lot of aggressiveness coming out from Broken Meta X, and or pardon me, from the Da Vinci Load. Broken Meta X actually reacting very, very well to it. And look at that again. The Janna did that roam up to mid lane at around 4 to 5 minutes to try to get a kill onto the enemy mid lane. Does actually manage to get the Zephyr and the slow as well, but a very nice Loosen Binding as well. But she's still incredibly low. The Ignite comes out. This is a ballsy dive. Yeah, that would have been a very interesting dive, and it probably would not have worked out. And Shyvana making her way into the top lane. Volibear gets the flip back, trying to get Armor Bear's rule to engage.
Shyvana is ganking. She doesn't have red buff, but...
And she does have a level 6, actually, this early, that double kill. And does Dragon Form. The flash is forced out of Armor Bear's rule, and he's getting low. Volibear coming in. They look like they want to dive this, but not the best idea, because here comes Quest and KO to just help his buddy out. Throws down the smoke screen, and Shyvana looking to re-engage, actually. Flame Strike comes out. Ooh, that was a very, very high damage reckless swing. But Volibear actually managed to get the flip back very low. Quest and KO picks up the kill. Maybe a little overzealous there from Mumbo, and Shyvana forced to flash away. Ooh, the axe does not quite land, and that is a 1-for-0 in the favor of the Da Vinci Load.
There's a little bit of engagement going on bottom lane. Janna taking quite a bit of damage, but ends up letting it back off pretty safely.
And actually very aggressive pushing now from Broken Meta X, but the CS still going in the favor of Enrique on that Ezreal. And CS across the board really going in the favor of the Da Vinci Load, which is just possibly the skill discrepancies that we're seeing here, making it only a 200 gold lead despite the kills. But Enrique getting caught out again. Phosphorus Bomb comes in, but a very nice tornado, and this is all just a bait because here comes Lulu. She comes in, she needs to land the Glitter Lance to get slow, as well as no Polymorph. The Glitter Lance actually doesn't land, the Zephyr does though. This could be a very dead Nautilus. Does manage to flash away, but Enrique so aggressive.
Oh, and they heal to save the day.
Wow. The last Mystic Shot was not quite enough, and the Arcane Shift hit a minion. So Nautilus will be out of there like a bandit, and things will go back to normal. Good roam from Lulu forcing out the flash, but that is all they will get out of that situation.
Despite the kill lead, The Da Vinci Load's actually maintaining equal gold.
And that's just the mechanical difference between the levels of these players right now, and just being able to keep up with the CS despite the constant fight. And that is really a testament to like being a very good player. And in the mid lane, actually, the Wild Growth being forced out because of the final spark, and very, very close fight there. And Camper 1 doing a ton of damage.
The dive bot lane. Enrique getting caught out by Ipon Shyvana. Had no mana to Arcane Shift away. Just didn't have flash. The heal was still on cooldown as well, just barely.
Apparently the stream is getting a little laggy.
That might be my provider, I don't know.
Possibly, but we'll work through it. We'll see if there's any solutions, and Dragon's getting pinged out. I will do what I can. Well, you take a look at that.
Give me a second.
No problem, but yeah. Oh, okay, and also it says 420 help me instead of Broken Meta X apparently on the thingy.
Oops, that's my bad. Let me go ahead and adjust that.
Apologies to everyone. It is certainly Broken Meta X versus the Da Vinci Load in the finals right now. Scoreboard, yeah, there we go. And
there we go. Okay, that's
the Da Vinci Load getting very aggressive in the jungle right now. The collateral damage is not quite enough to pick up Shyvana. Gonna get away with 73 HP, but they really want this. Wow, so aggressive from Sylve. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow.
The flash ignite into tornado power play right there from Sylve, so aggressive. And now Nautilus and Quirky are roaming up. They want to avenge their fallen brother, and the stun does come out. Lux is here as well. Needs to land the light binding, and has not thrown it out yet. There it is. Does manage to pick up, but Enrique from downtown manages to pick up Nautilus with the ultimate, and Corky getting really low. Camper does manage to pick up Sylve, and ooh, this is going to be a very close fight. Are they going to go really aggressive again? Enrique does get caught by the light binding. He needs to land the last mystic shot, but not quite. The flash is forced. Lulu so aggressive. Morning Bacon. The flash does manage to get the last auto in, but here comes Shyvana, the dragon.
Wow.
But oh, what? Was that
That
a
had
glitter lance?
I think that was a long. That basically, she put the pixie onto Shyvana and used glitter lance to long range snipe Corky there.
That's what I thought happened. That is an incredible heads-up play from Morning Bacon there. If that's the case, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But I was trying to think what kind of target she would have been able. But wow, that is an incredible play. And Broken Meta, or pardon me, the Da Vinci Load suddenly find themselves with 5 kills and a 1.2k gold lead. And in the top lane, exchanging the slaps. Boulder Bear getting slightly tankier now. Does manage to run away, but the X start landing. The slows are coming in. He might be able to bait this out, but does not actually in the end need to do that. Shyvana's here, but it looks like we might have a bit of a party in the top lane. Lulu and Graves here as well. Quick draw over the wall, and wow, right onto the ward. The Ragnarok comes out, the collateral damage as well. Ipon just explodes. And Volibear's passive is pop, so they might want to be able to dive this. They have the Wild Growth. I just dodged the Glitter Lance very nicely. Oh, fantastic use of end of the line there. And Quest and KO picks up another kill. 3-1 and 2 for him right now, and 2 kills in the favor of the Da Vinci Load. Lux is on her way roaming up, but not going to find too much. Actually, Lulu just starting her back now. If he throws out, yeah, the Lucent Singularity is going to pick up a kill on Morning Bacon. Good work by Lux there to pick up that kill. Light Binding might comes up, but this could be a very, very dead Lux. Actually manages to get out okay with great Light Binding and Lucent Singularity. But here's Jetta. Oh, he's getting flashbacks of the Flash Ignite. Oh, no, the Tornado misses, though. And wow, the Light Binding actually hits Graves in the background and manages to stop him from coming in. Ooh, Enrique getting a little aggressive. The Dredge Lines hits, but an instant Arcane Shift away. Great work there by Enrique to keep himself alive. 7-7 now. We have, ladies and gentlemen, 1.5k in the lead of the Da Vinci Load. And the action seems to be slowing down momentarily. The Da Vinci Load taking commanding CS lead in everything but the jungle. And bot lane still fairly close, but everywhere else is 20, almost double CS in the top lane, which is very scary.
That's the skill distance we're seeing. The kills we're seeing are completely even, but we're just seeing how much of a CS difference that makes.
Absolutely. And that's just the matchup sometimes, the way the skill discrepancies go. And despite the efforts of Ipon on that Shyvana, actually the Dredge Line connects on Ezreal, does manage to Arcane Shift out. The Death Charge as well comes out, knocks up Janna. But that will be all she wrote in the bot lane. Actually, Enrique trying to throw the aggression back on. In the mid lane, actually, Lulu getting caught out by the
snare as well as Shyvana jumping in, and wow! Quest and KO does manage to pick up with the collateral damage and damage. Ipon does slay Morning Bacon, but Quest and KO will pull a double kill on the Graves. 5, 1, and 2 already doing so much work, and he's just going to be slowly pushing in that mid lane. I think the matchup between Morning Bacon and Camper in the mid lane, it's like, you think it's a very even, like, pokey lane, and then Camper's like, yeah, I can totally 100 to 0 Lulu right now, and then all of a sudden Lulu gets an extra 350 health from Wild Growth, and it's like, damn, it was so close.
There's not much that can. That's one thing I've always kind of been annoyed with Lulu, is just her ability to be like, well, you think I'm dead, but I'm not.
Exactly. And the Da Vinci load taking down the first dragon of the game here. No surprises, they're making that objective. And actually, Broken Meta X are calling it out. This could be a very dangerous situation for the Da Vinci load.
Oh, very nice light binding. It lands, but a huge heal from Ezreal. And they absolutely obliterate Camper. That looks so good, but a great reactive heal from Enrique.
Camper just not quite having the CC yet. It only has the Codex in its orange ring.
And you thought that Quest and KO was going to go down, but Enrique managed to hit his friend with the heal there and keep him alive. Blue buff
up by the Gen ultimate. Oh, there's an Ignite to prevent Volibear's healing.
In the top lane. 50 CS discrepancy, this turn might go down. It would be a bit of an ambitious dive, I wouldn't lie, but it looks like he's going to go for it. The axe does land as well. No need for the Ragnarok even, but he does turn it on just in case. Reckless Swing will pick up the kill, and that is the first kill of the game for actually Armored Bear's rule. Sitting at 1, 1, and 3. More movement in the bot lane. Still a little laggy, says, well, that's alright, we'll try to fix the problems. And actually, Corki going very aggressive with the Valkyrie. Shyvana is here as well. A very nice dredge line into stun there. Or pardon me, snare from Nautilus. And they will finally manage to pick up Quest and KO, but Enrique going very, very aggressive on the Killer Z right now. And gets the last auto attack. The depth charge will not be enough. Wow, the Ezreal ult comes out as well, and this could be a double kill, and one more for Ezreal. Enrique is going absolutely off right now. Nautilus does manage to flash away, and a very nice dredge line to get to the other side of the river, but Lulu is here. Morning Bacon going to do what he can. Does get the slow.
Enrique wanted to give it to Enrique.
They're just messing around in the bot lane a little bit. Enrique misses the Mystic shot, and the red buff will actually tick for the kill. 14 to 9 now in the favor of the Da Vinci load, and it looks like everyone's just having a fun game right now. The push is coming in. 6k gold lead in the favor of the Da Vinci load. Olaf having a great time playing Farming Simulator up in the top lane. Bot turret looks like it's getting Enrique sitting at 4-2-2, pressing KO at 5-2.
A little bit of roam from Volibear.
And in the middle lane, things are going down. The light binding was not enough, but wow, Quest and KO being so aggressive right here. Volibear tries to get the fear, but he is taking a ton of damage right now. The smite comes out as well. He is slowed, he is revealed, but will it be enough? Wow, so aggressive. The collateral damage not quite enough. What a great flash away. Red buff won't tick either. But Olaf, the flash axe is not. Ragnarok, they want this luck so bad. A great reactionary flash from Camper there to stay safe. Spooky Ghost Radana knows. Turret in the mid lane goes down. Enrique does manage to pick up a kill on Killer's Fox in the bot lane. And now Shyvana engaged in the brawl with Quest and KO doing a lot of damage, but Janna is here. Sylv is exactly where you need him to be. What a support. The smokescreen comes out and picks it up with the tornado. Supports need some kills too. And 2, 2, and 5 sitting on Sylv right now. Turret pressure all around the map. And final spark comes out just to clear the wave a little bit. And Volibear says, get away from my turret, you don't have minions, I will fling you straight back into it. Clearing out the bot lane is the Brofist on the Nautilus. Quest and KO, farming back up.
We're seeing the difference in gold here. Whereas... Oh, there's a package coming out of Graves.
Wow, actually, very, very aggressive. And Killer Z Fox doing what he can. Does Flash does not actually manage to land the missile barrage, but does get the kill with the auto attack. Now he's got an angry Olaf to deal with right now. Missile lands. He has the red buff. He needs to get those autos to slow. The first auto comes out. The axe, and then Morning Bacon actually picking it up with the glitter lance, and still a good kill. Oh wow, actually great dredge line, but the Ragnarok popped.
Here comes Volibear though, and this could be actually a very dangerous situation for Morning Bacon right now. He's getting CC'd up. The Frenzy comes out, as well as the Depth Charge. The ultimate, ooh, and a very nice dredge line again, does manage to get the second snare, but Lulu is staying alive for so long. There's the other one that manages to flash over the wall. Cooldowns are up in 1 second.
A little bit of a duel going on in mid lane between support and mid laner.
And actually, the ultimate comes out from Ezreal, not quite enough. And, is he going to be able to get it? But, the last tick of Ignite manages to do it and keeps himself alive with the final spark kind of landed. And, wow, very nice dodge on the Mystic shot there from iPawn. Enrique being very, very aggressive. As usual, 18-10 right now, the Da Vinci load, a commanding 9k gold lead at this time.
It was sort of looking very even in the beginning, but looks like they're the ones who are taking the lead here, pretty convincingly as it stands.
Second,
currently at a 10k gold lead.
And they are just getting their siege on at this point.
Oh, really aggressive dive in by Graves. Shyvana wanting to eat Janna.
Oh, Janna almost lives. That would have been incredible. The Mystic shot lands. Enrique doing what he can to get this game on the move. 6-2 and 3 for him. But oh, what a combo there from Camper.
Now Lux is starting to get a little more AP.
And wow, that was a very nice landing of the combo. Exactly what you want your Lux to do to blow up that squishy carry. So a good trade back in the end. They do lose their tier 2. Oh, Lost still in the top lane. He's trying to push that tier 2 down, and Camper goes down. Quest and KO is so big right now.
And just bursted poor Lux down so quickly.
Graves being a very, very potent pick in this jungle right now. So much damage. Sitting at 7-3 and 7.
Olaf does not care that he's being attacked.
Ragnarok popped as well. The autos will continue. Quest and KO comes up, gets the one auto off. He deserved that kill. He really put in the effort. And Olaf put his life on the line, and Quest and KO is like, yeah, you know what? I'll pad the stats a little more. Your KDR is only 1-1-5. Like, I'm 8-3 and 7. I need that. I need that one, bro. Help me out. You know, Broken Medax.
Looks like Da Vinci is going to go ahead and pick up another dragon. It'll be the second dragon of the game.
Enrique going to be in a exciting 1v1 against the dragon. Sylve going to come in, toss a shield onto his mate, down to 2k health. Sylve doesn't manage to steal the tornado.
Olaf gets locked up by CC.
Yeah, great dredge line right there, and wow, so much damage going on to Olaf. He survived for quite a while, but in the end, 4 members of Broken Medax able to pick him up.
Definitely longer than expected with no tank items other than some health from Black Cleaver.
Absolutely. Wow, this Lux actually is doing quite a bit of damage. Wow, this is a huge team fight right now.
There's Enrique being aggressive as always.
So aggressive, manages to get the flash over wall. Good work by him. Lulu does manage to save, and Volibear does get picked up.
Graves is just doing so much damage.
Graves comes in, just does so much damage, and Enrique picks up Corki on the side. A 4-for-1 in the favor of Broken Meta X, or pardon me, a 5-for-1 now in favor of the Da Vinci load. The Monsoon comes out, making sure everyone's nice and healthy, and they are going to get onto the top inhibitor turret. 27-13, ladies and gentlemen, and it is that Lux is doing a lot of damage. Credit to her, a ton of damage.
They had a really good catch on Olaf, taking advantage of the fact that he did not have his ultimate because he used it earlier, but they just weren't able to continue that team fight, and they couldn't kill Enrique when he got really aggressive and dived into their team. And that guy was kind of detrimental. And unfortunately, Graves is just so far ahead and is doing so much damage.
10, 3, and 8. He has his Ghost Blade, his Skirmisher Saber with the Saber, pardon me, with the Warrior Enhancement, and another BF Sword and a Serrated Dirk as well. He is massive. Enrique, he has his Iceborne Gauntlet and his Muramana, and as well Lulu doing so much damage. Everyone doing. And actually a Morel and Omicron being finished on Sylve. And you know what? A couple more picks, Broken Medax is right back into this game.
But the Ragnarok and the bot lane, Hubbard Barrett rules, just doing so much damage and taking the full fight under the turret. Almost manages to get the second kill. Enrique now gonna see if he can fancy under the turret. The collateral damage is not quite finished off. Very nice dredge line. A little optimistic, but the skill shot was very nice regardless. Ghostblade being popped, and Enrique going incredibly aggressive onto Camper right now. Shyvana gonna come in, try to save his mate, and it looks like she might be able to, but oh my goodness, the shield coming in from Jonathan playing so well right now. Manages to get the flash Zephyr in. Zephyr's doing like
a decent amount of damage right now, actually. And Jenna getting so aggressive trying to pick up Lux, but Lux manages to land the light binding and pick up the kill. The tier 2 in the bot lane does go down. 31 to 16, 18k gold lead for the Da Vinci load now after this series of events. The package being thrown out by Corki to get away from Lulu. And the Death Charge comes out. They want to pick up this Lulu. Ooh, the final. It does not actually land the final spark. Lulu does get dropped in the end by the Brofist. And that was like a 4 for 2 overall in the favor of Broken Meta X.
It definitely was not bad, but they have no inhibitors down at this point. They're still 15 or 16k gold behind. It's definitely going to be a rough game for them to make a comeback here.
Things are looking dire, especially Quest and KO just... He's sitting on 500 life, but it looks like he fancies anyone who walks by who wants to take a fight. He sees the Corki hop into the mid lane. Pops the Ghost Blade. This could be... Let's see if he manages to do this.
He gets the kill and he's trying to get away. Can he do it?
Oh, very nice Dredge Line does pick up the kill. That was so much damage on a Corki. I mean, they get the consolation of killing him. That was 500 team gold extra for Broken Meta X, but it looks like it was all just a distraction for the Baron. Ipon does not have Smite, but it might be up in time, but they have no clue that this Baron's going on. We'll drop in the favor of the Da Vinci load, and then as well as 2 inhibitors, now they have a Baron buff.
Let's see how they take advantage of this Baron buff. Will they go bot lane, which is probably the safest route, or will they just continue to push mid? Looks like a mid push so far.
Absolutely, and Sylve being very, very ballsy. Wow, Enrique doing
He basically baited Corki out, and Enrique just coming in to burst him.
Enrique just absolutely 3 shots Corki, and Nautilus, what is he doing? He's trying to make the great escape. Will he get out? The slow does land. No, my auto camera. Nautilus, oh, not quite. Enrique does finish him off. And now in the top part, Shyvana diving on to Armored Blue, or Armored Bear's rule. Will he manage to get out? No, the flash auto. Ipon does manage to finish off. But at the same time, his turrets are going down. The Nexus turrets are falling. Enrique's fighting somebody on the Summoning Stone. Does not actually land the Mystic Bolt. But here comes Volibear. Very nice Monsoon to keep him away from his carry. And the final spark not going to be quite enough damage. Enrique actually diving onto Volibear right now. Does not land the last Mystic shot. There is literally 1v1 fights all over the map. Corki's live trying to do what he can. KO kills Ipon. He wants to get the kill onto the on the summoning platform. Does not manage to do it. Game 1, ladies and gentlemen, goes in the favor of the Da Vinci load. They take a 1-0 series lead over Broken Meta X in the Reverie Esports Series 36 Grand Finals. GG to them.
A very convincing first win. We're actually going to take a moment to restart my stream.
Okay.
We're going to try changing servers to see if that reduces some of the lag. Because unfortunately I've done what I can without turning the stream off. So we're going to take... It's going to be maybe 10-15 seconds, not very long time at all. So hopefully that fixes it. Let me just find a server that's close. We'll go with... So let's try that. We're going to try Los Angeles and see how that works. So, okay, I'm turning the stream off. We'll be right back. Give us just a few seconds.